And that's the most warning we have ever gotten for anything.
Yeah. I feel so official and prepared.
Right?
I give you
Okay.
guys warning all the time. You just never pay attention to me.
Oh, that timer on the computer doesn't mean anything.
You guys get to talking before I start to go live, and nobody pays attention to the DM, the guy running the cameras. So it's not my fault.
That is fair. I guess that is true. He probably usually is just trying to play catch up with us just jumping in.
We're not the problems. His normal game are a bunch of problem children. I mean, I guess in that way we are still his problems because two of us are
Yeah.
present.
Yep.
But
I think
yeah,
the kind of people who enjoy D&D just tend to be problems. I
you're
A little
not
bit.
wrong.
A little
think
bit.
it
You're not
requires
wrong.
a certain level of psychosis to like for people who are like really into this. And so
But you know, if I gotta pick my psychoses, I'm comfortable with this being one of them.
Yeah.
I would say the whole world is just better off to channel it into D&D rather than the other areas.
Honestly, yeah. Like this is not destructive to the rest of your life. So many other things that can be weird results of your psychoses. Not so much. So I'll take it. It works. Oh, right. I think that I've got all of my notes in order here. My phone is fully charged with all of the crap that I need. Would anyone else like to do a rundown on what happened last time?
Gonna watch again. Ran out of time.
Well, I will give you kind of a broad strokes thing, and if any of you guys remember anything that you find noteworthy that I missed, you can interject it in. So, when last we played, which seems like forever ago now, I guess it kind of was. When last we played, Eden awoke with a gnarly hangover. Paul, who has now made friends with a bunny who now believes he's a fire breathing bunny, and has missed that it is because of a particular kind of liquor. Like, there's a loose association there for him. But Piff doesn't fully understand that he's not magical fire breathing dragon bunny. Paul and Piff have now become a wee bit of a team, and tried very hard to make Eden sick. I think they were successful in that endeavor, by bringing him food that looked wholly unappetizing and should not have been mixed together. Um, Eric attempted to console Eden the best he can, even though he's still, I think, out of the loop of what the hell happened. Um, and so while he was not as sad boy as he was previously, he still spent the majority of the session sad boying pretty hard. So yeah, we had that. Paul tried very hard to end up getting Piff armed with an axe and a shield. Learned that bunny paws are not necessarily the best for holding weapons and shields. Did not stop him from trying very hard to adopt Piff as the fifth member of the team. Let's see, there is now, because somebody lied and took Piff to some other place where he's going to be called into adventure. Um, they just took him back to the cottage downstairs, where now there's a very expectant bunny waiting at the doorway, hoping for his chance to go an adventure. You had your meeting, decided some of the things that needed to be divvied up as far as um, different tasks between three different groups of people. You guys decided that you would take the library first, and then I believe the Black Mountains, trading off with some of the other NPCs, bringing Ren along for that. Um, let's see. Isanji does believe that he has a way to destroy these items, though it might take some hefty effort. You guys met Melvin, who is one of the Seven Sons, and as far as you have seen, it looks like a bag of holding, but unfolds into what is effectively a portal in a bag and can send you all kinds of interesting places. Estiel went with you. Oh, Thea not introduced, but informed Arabella that Siu is also a Foreseer, which while she had met Siu before, it had been many years, and she was not in possession of that knowledge, so now Siu has a petite, eccentric mentor for his foreseeing abilities. Melvin transported you guys to the town outside of the library, and you traveled inward. So far, Paul has not set fire to anything, which is nice. It's only a matter of time. Let's see, I forget the different rooms that you have been in so far, but you ended in the planetarium. Oh, Paul kind of...
I'm sorry.
Either he who's the king with the sawing the baby in half thing?
Solomon?
Yeah.
Solomon the
What was that?
Wise.
Solomon?
Solomon, thank you. He either, depending on your perspective, was an antagonist in a fight, or helped antagonize other people's fights, or he was a Solomon and was trying to resolve the fight. We know which one that was. From an outsider's perspective, it might not have been that obvious. But then the librarians in question that were threatening each other with his hand axes were Tasha's hideous laughter? Yes. And started having a terrible laughing breakdown, which resolved the fight. And then you guys ended up getting into the planetarium. There was a treasure in the planetarium. Excuse me. So that much is cool. Estiel did not immediately stop that fight from happening and noted that there is something that is a little out of sorts about the library at the moment. So nothing that he seems incredibly concerned about right this second, but it was noted. Can anybody else think of anything else?
Thanks.
What was that?
Eden gave away his bag of holding.
That's right. Eden gave away his bag of holding to a very confused Scylla.
Paul played with physics.
Oh, that's true. Paul had great fun with Melvin's portal and played with all kinds of physics. He did also lend Billy his compass. So that's an odd and different thing. So yeah, the portal physics shenanigans. Oh, buddy. Sweet boy. Is there anything else that I've missed? Portal shenanigans.
Pretty bold.
Hmm?
Pretty bold.
Ziffel stole your bell. Yeah.
Yep.
Ziffel stole your bell. You found out that he's in a 12-step program for kleptomania, effectively. So they're working on it, but that was a fun introduction to that character, who is in the I don't know, covert ops team, I
Didn't we
guess.
get close to killing him?
Oh, yes. Oh, certainly. It was a very close thing, and then his response to everything made people feel immediately bad for feeling that way. So, yes, he was nearly a dead raccoon.
Would have been really unfortunate.
Would have been very sad. But also really funny, so you win some, you lose some. But yes, okay. So that is effectively where we have left off. We can pause briefly and wait for her to get back if you think it might take a while.
She's trying to get him down right now, so it'll be either a quick minute or it'll be a while.
long time.
There's no in between on that one.
Gotcha.
So,
Gotcha. So Thea, it is read as truth that she is here with you guys, being fascinated by all of the things. In this planetarium, you see that there are several lamps, all on these massive bookcases. It's a very domed ceiling. There seem to be a number of levers and switches attached to it. It looks like there is a model of what would be considered this universe, kind of in the middle in a globe. That was impressively fast. With-
We'll see if he stays asleep, but he's still right now, so.
Sweet. So, sorry. The lanterns on the shelves seem to have a whole bunch of different constellations punched into them. And there is a space in the middle of the room that has what's effectively like an old-timey looking projector that has a fitting where you can sit the lamps and project it into the dome. So there are a bunch of switches on the wall that might do different things. There's also a random pile of odds and ends on one side of the room as well. And there are 3 doors on, like, each, I don't know, north, south, east, west. You guys would have come in from the south door. And then there is in an orb, like a model of the universe as they would know it here for the Neverwonder. So.
As we're going by, what's in the pile of odds and ends? Anything that sticks out?
Roll me an investigation check. You can also go for perception if you're going more broad.
I think he's probably like, if it doesn't look like he's gonna really like damage anything by like nudging it with his toe, he'll sort of like nudge it with his toe. So I'm thinking probably investigation, even though he's not as good at that. 4.
There's not a lot that he can take note of. Just give me a second. I'm gonna roll. Okay, so like there's some scrolls that are kind of bound up. It looks like there are some letters, like somebody corresponded. There were some correspondence there. There are a few like latched trunks. Just some stuff piled up. It kind of looks like a pile of mess. There is a sheet of paper that, like, as you nudge stuff, kind of flutters down, and it looks like a note that might have been, like,
or something.
it looks like maybe it had been left somewhere in this room to be found, and now it just kind of flutters to the ground.
Okay. That one specific one he'll like pick up and glance at, but most of it, like, it doesn't look like this is stuff that he should probably be pawing through, so.
Yeah. So the note says, "Been lost here 3 days. Be wary of the Grey Librarians." So that's all. There seems to be somebody who has been trying to leave breadcrumbs, but when you're in a building that moves, that's questionable as to how well that goes for you.
So
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, you said there's like a lot of like levers and stuff that were kind of around everywhere. Okay, good to know.
Paul's
The
like,
librarians we saw before were yellow, right?
correct.
I forget it from the last game. Are we in this room alone, or is there like a person from the library with us who like
There's
brought
nobody
us?
currently from the library with you. You gather that the librarians are always like the librarians are the little guys.
Yeah.
The keepers are. I guess you could kind of consider them a different kind of librarian, but they are overseers of the space in a different way. They kind of manage its like the big purple folks, the giants, they manage the interactions of the library with the outside world. The librarians seem to serve internal functions, and I don't know if you guys had asked anything about the actual librarians of anybody else. So, yeah, that's probably what you have discerned just from kind of the way that things have presented themselves. Currently, the only person in the room with you other than you guys is a Steel.
I'll probably hand the note to Steel.
Oh dear. This bit of parchment. It could just be old parchment, but it is old parchment. He found his way out. Or she. That's unfortunate. We'll stay alert in case there's somebody lost, although it is my experience that usually when people are lost here, there's a good reason for it. So, we'll, stay aware and alert. You had something that you were going to look for, am I correct?
I mean, yes. Yes, but sorry, I forget myself. So easy to slip into the common tongue. Uh, I was looking for perhaps information in respect to my particular heritage, you might say. Being.
Perhaps so that we can be more focused in our efforts to communicate our intent with our provider here. Perhaps we can check to see if she will grant us that first.
I don't want to derail. Our mission here is one thing. I don't want to detract from that.
Rather distracted is what I'm saying. If it would be useful to you to have some resources before we have to focus our intent elsewhere, and that would allow you more focus, would probably do us all good.
I will not complain if we do. But
Well,
I also know that it is not the most important.
that is very true. Graciously, as this seems, I won't dare say one of these safer environments we could have been in the most direct sense of the word. I believe that it was. So it's as good a time as any. If you are going to look afterwards, it won't absorb any more time. So we'll look into that as we can.
Pull a lever, Paul. You know you want to.
Oh no, it's happening. It's happening. He's just looking around. So and then what this does.
If Paul reaches for a lever, I'm just going to reach out and keep it where it is. It's not a good idea to manipulate controls that you don't know what they do.
Well, how else am I supposed to find out what they do? And I grab another one and try to pull it down.
And
yes. All right. that be a 4? Okay. So, the lever that you have pulled, the lights,
Instant
the lights in the room all go out, and Estiel is paying attention to Eden right now, so he did not realize what triggered this. It's like you hear this. Oh dear!
I thought this was one of the safe places.
Everything immediately goes like blinding dark.
For a moment, and
Okay.
then around the very middle of the space, in what looked to be decoration before, there are these they look like fancy version of halogen lights, but there's something that rumbles them, and all of a sudden there's this glowing mist that starts like trying to escape each of the tubes. So there's this like illuminated ring around the space. And every time one starts to dim, it shakes again and it brightens it back up and it starts like zigzagging, kind of almost ricocheting. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. English is hard tonight, guys. It starts ricocheting off of the canisters. And you do see whatever lamp is in the middle of the room illuminates under one of their lights and projects something that does not look familiar to you overhead onto the ceiling.
I look up at it. I don't recognize it at all. Don't know what it is.
It does look like a star chart. It does not look like a star chart of any place you have been, including this world.
Okay. I'd be like, well, that's boring. And I crank it back up, and then I go to another one.
Paul, please, don't just pull levers willy-nilly.
If they didn't want them pulled, they wouldn't put levers out here, would they?
As you pull the next one, you hear these like party horns, like the lights come back on. And you hear these party horns and small explosions from the side of the room shoot confetti out. And there's like this little banner that unfurls from the top that says, "Happy birthday, Steve."
I don't... Who's Steve? Yeah.
Screw you, Steve. Whoever you are. I hate that guy.
Somebody's gonna be really disappointed when they like.
It's a kid's birthday party. That's what it is to the planetarium. We just ruined the surprise.
What do you mean, wait?
A little squeak happens as the door opens to the left of you, and you see a red librarian come in, and he looks like he's on a mission. He walks in, looks around, just like shoulders sink. He looks over at Paul, and starts like trying to just like back him up. And
Happy
another
birthday,
one comes
Steve.
in. What's that?
Happy birthday, Steve.
Another one comes in with a dustpan and a broom and starts like sweeping it up around him.
I really thought these levers were going to be more interesting.
That one was pretty cool.
I really like that I rolled a 1 on that one. That made me happy. With that, Estiel looks over to see what's happening. I believe that we should move along, and perhaps keep it interesting.
Don't encourage him.
How many more levers are there?
There are 20 total.
I'm gonna reach over and just grab Paul, lift him up, and move him away from the panel.
How strong are you, Keith?
Probably not that strong.
Pretty dense gnome.
Yeah, Paul is dense. I mean, he's not hugely heavy, but when he has his axe too, and the sword, you know, he weighs a good bit. What's your actual score with strength?
My actual score is an 8, which means I have a -1.
You try and pick him up, and it does, like, it puts enough like resistance into the system that he would have to like escape you at this point to
You know what
move.
I kind of imagine? Like he picks Paul up no problem, but the weight of his like sword and his axe keep him
Like that drags
that
the
drags him to the ground. So it's like you like almost pick Paul up, but because he's got the axe, you can't quite get him past that point.
But he is in a position now that he's not actively like moving in towards the levers. Come along. Estelle like tries to escort you, and you kind of see his eyes cloud over. It looks like he's messaging one of the librarians, and it's like, well, Eden, if you don't mind to think very hard about the information that you seek, I shall do the same on your behalf. And you can kind of start to hear things shifting around the outsides of the room. As you do, you can kind of like you see Estelle, I hope, and go towards the door and open it. And it is quite warm. The room that he's opening up.
Like uncomfortably warm or like cozy warm?
Cozy warm. If you got like too far onto the other side of the room, it might start getting uncomfortable. But like as you enter the door, it's more cozy warm.
As we're leaving the room, I'm just making a mental note of what lever Paul pulled that displayed the star chart.
That was number 4.
Number 4, if we find ourselves back in here. So
And we could have discovered what all 20 of the levers would have done if we had just stayed in the room.
This is true. As you go in, you are in what looks like a lower ceilinged, smaller library. There are several different rows of books. There is a label on one. Stephen, do you speak Infernal?
Do.
Anybody who can speak Infernal can see that it is labeled Infernal Studies. Like this whole shelf is referred to as Infernal Studies. There is a doorway that Paul should not open, but he might anyway. That feels it's this dark, twisted thing. When you look directly at it, it just looks like a locked door. But when you look away from it, it feels like this shifting, vacuous hole that makes you incredibly uncomfortable. So yeah, that is it's like this distorted thing from a horror movie that would fit in well with Hellraiser. But
all right, Paul, take us to hell.
Not going to the door.
Where's the PHP?
would you fire resistance?
No, but I have this ability, but I'm curious if it like triggers because of this.
So is the sign that says Infernal Studies, it's like on the door or
actually on the shelves.
On the
There's like a little cozy reading nook where there's actually a demon just sitting there like with a book, who kind of looks up when you open the door. Doesn't seem like he's a threat or anything. He just kind of looks up. There's chains all over him. But
The name wouldn't be Steve, would it?
Goes back to reading the book that he's reading. And starts to kind of like give up on the one that he's on and go towards the shelves for others.
Guess I have to like speed read the bindings.
Is there something specific that you're searching for?
Information in regards to the aura that I'm made with off, how to deal with it, what it does, if I can turn it off, what effects it may have on other people, anything, everything.
I see. One moment. I might have said this when you guys were in other rooms with books, but at the end of each bookshelf, there is a bell that's hanging way up high that has a rope attached to it. He goes over and rings one of the bells, and one of the little yellow librarians comes out from one of the doors and kind of stands at attention in front of you guys. My friend is searching for information regarding the biology, the magical aura of incubi and succubi. The little guy, and like starts and gestures for you to follow. There is a book. Well, actually, there's a whole section about incubi and succubi. That and like different types of that sort of demonology. That he kind of gestures for you to examine. Kind of pushes a ladder over to you two if you need to like climb up. But there are a fair number of books about this.
So he'll like start grabbing them and putting them under his arm. You aren't Steve by chance, are you? No. It's apparently his birthday.
Oh, it's not picking me up when I make little squeaky sounds. That's sad. Know that I'm making goofy little squeaky sounds in response to you.
Okay, so once he has like 3 or 4 of the larger, more like he's aiming for like more scholarly looking ones, but whatever's there, he's just like he'll grab like 4 or 5, 3 or 4, 4 or 5.
You hear in your head, like, you can tell that this is coming from the little yellow guy.
5-day return mandatory.
I thank you. And then Eden will realize, like, right just now, he's like, oh, wait, I don't have my bag of holding. I don't have, like, a.
Just shoving him under his arm.
But what he was planning on doing was pulling a bunch into his arm and then putting them in the bag and then just, like, reading them as we walk. But, like, he just now realizes he can't do that. So he will put a couple of them back.
Here,
And he'll
I've got
take 2.
I've got room in my bag. I can take a couple of them, and I can read Infernal, so I can help you.
Thank you. That would be very helpful. So he'll hand you like 3 of them. He'll take 2 himself. He'll sort of look at the steel and be like, hopefully this is. I will follow your lead. I'm going to leaf through these.
Excellent. Very well. So, we are looking for the vaults, my friend, and friends. And we are trying very hard to focus in on the sword specifically. Hopefully she will understand that we mean it no harm, and mean rather to keep things safe from that. As he says that, there are a lot of strange scuffling noises coming from one of the other doors. And you hear the door slam open, and you see this small horde of librarians running through, dragging different supplies and whatnot. Their body language is reading panic. They do not go to the infernal door, but they cut through one of the other sides to reach a different door in the room. At the same time, Esteel's eyes go white. Thea would know because this is similar to her magic, while it might not be the same presentation as her magic, that he is receiving sending from someone.
I'll look at the little. What color are these librarians that are running through?
Let's see. There are some are red, some are yellow. A lot are black. There is like there are like 2 gray ones following behind. So and the yellow one kind of that you were talking to seems alarmed and kind of and falls into line with these other librarians.
Do you need help?
Is one of you Steve?
Is the language that they're speaking, does it register as an actual language, or is it like some sort of like creature, like an animal sort of squeak, like a mouse or a...
Kind of more animal.
Do I understand them since I can speak with animals?
To cast that, or is it just always
It's
up?
kind of like it's a cast spell, but it's sort of innate. Like when I hear it, like if there's an animal speaking around me, I just basically, I don't know that I can cast it. I just, when I hear it, I just naturally do it. So
Okay. So yes, you would be able to understand some of these things. They do message in common, but this is an odd little animal language that seems internal just to the library, but like you can catch that there is enough similarity with other animals that you can at least get a rough idea of what's being said.
like someone speaking broken English.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And it seems to when Eden asks if they need help, the yellow one replies, "Don't know yet."
I respond in their language. Just what's going on?
In Spanglish, you say.
Squeaker squeaking.
Portal opening by evil means.
I perk up. Oh yeah? Do you need help?
Don't know yet.
I pull out the sword. I can help.
He just like nods and falls into line with the others as they start
I
moving.
just start going with him. Come on, guys! Evil portal. Let's go.
Wait, what? Why are we going towards the evil portal?
What? Yeah, that sounds awful.
They need our help.
With that, you hear Estiel, shit. And he turns. We should probably follow them. And he falls into line with
You
them.
just agreed with Paul.
Yeah, nothing good's gonna come of this. And I'll fall into line with them.
As they run through the doorways, it seems like you can feel the place shuddering here and there. Just small quakes, and things will settle right before you hit another door.
Sorry, trying to get focused. So Eden will focus really hard on evil portal, evil portal, evil portal, evil portal. If it makes any difference.
So it does for a second. You feel a sudden draw towards that dark doorway that you're not actually supposed to be running towards. there is this feeling of wanting to move toward it. Because, like, at this point, the portal that you're running towards doesn't actually recognize itself as evil. It is being created by evil means. So you are being drawn to the actual gateway,
That knows
effectively,
that it's
to
evil.
hell. Um, you're getting pulled in that direction, but everybody else is running the opposite way.
All right, I'll follow.
Do I like while we're following behind the librarians? Like, are any of them like talking amongst themselves? Like, am I able to catch any pieces of information that might be helpful? I know I'm not the best person to find this information, but I figured who knows.
So you do hear little bits and bobs, when they're squeaking to each other of, do we know why? Because murder. Do we know who? Not yet.
Steve,
Steve. That was fabulously in unison. I
Steve's
really
gonna
love
be the big
that.
baddie if you guys keep this up. Danny's gonna make Steve the big baddie if y'all aren't careful. We've ruined his birthday. He's coming for all of us now. So okay.
As you're running, Estelle will also say, apparently, I don't understand what happened yet, but one of our other teams has been compromised. I have a funny feeling that what's about to happen here has a lot to do with that.
That was fast. Which one?
It was the one going to the dragon. So this would have been Scylla's team. At least I'm pretty sure that was Scylla's team. I'll have to look back in my notes to make sure, but I think it was Scylla's team. So
It's just chaos.
they are all right, the best that I can tell so far. Seeing that you had gone, Alid.
Way to go, Claudius.
Well, Scylla went with the thieves, I think.
Oh, did she?
Didn't she?
No, I think she was going with. I thought she was going with Claudius. But...
Oh, I think it was the thieves that were going to the dragon. I could be wrong. I
yeah,
have to double check.
the thieves were going to the dragon. Tix's team.
Yeah, Tix's team. So yeah, the thieves were going to the dragon. So yeah. Now whether or not like he remembered which team she was on, meh. But yeah. So you are all running there. The next door that opens as you run through this room full of white librarians who all like stop and turn and look at you. There's this massive, like glowing, almost looks like some sort of a core reactor from an Enterprise or something like that. In the middle of the room, and there are many of them that are standing around like writing in notebooks, and some of them are testing smaller tubes on the wall. There are all these wires and everything. They all turn to look at you, and there's this like weird hum between them. And as you open the door that they run past next, you open it, and it almost looks like void for a minute because the building has not yet settled. And it shifts into place almost like out of the ether. A room forms around it, brick by brick. It is a long room full of books. You'd have to actually do any like kind of perception or investigation check to be able to know to stop long enough to read the signage or anything to that effect. But you can see where there are already 2 black librarians that are hunting around for the walls, trying to find something. So it's just huge shelves all the way, just shelf after shelf after shelf, probably about 30 feet high. And they are checking the walls as close they can and the floors looking for something.
What you looking for?
Forming doorway.
You need a
Another-
doorway?
What was that?
You need a doorway?
Doorway coming.
Oh. I looked
Yeah.
at I think
Sorry,
these
go ahead.
people are crazy.
I don't know that you're wrong. Hey Thea, do you have a way to like detect magic?
I was just about to say that. I don't know if it would show me like a door that's about to form, but I do have detector. It's Eldritch Sight, which lets me cast detect magic.
So Thea, with that, you get this pull. What's the range on detect magic? I forget.
I think it's 30.
30 feet.
Yeah.
You could pull, and it's like this whole place is magic. But where you start, you don't feel anything that feels like it would be out of place with this weird, wacky space. But after a moment of your sight adjusting, you see something changing over in the side of your field of vision under a rug about 30 feet away.
Are we about to stop our future selves?
Maybe, who knows?
So I was like, there's something under the rug.
I run to the rug.
We need to move the rug.
Moving over to the rug, the librarians follow, especially the black ones. The others the red and yellow ones seem like they are getting at the ready to do whatever their jobs are. I don't know that you've put together what their individual things are yet, but they are standing at the ready. The black ones are the ones that are the most active. The gray ones, the two gray ones, kind of stand pretty far back at this juncture.
While they're moving the carpet, I'm going to ask Estelle, what's the color coding situation here?
He points at the red ones. Red is building maintenance. Yellow is book maintenance. Gray is they collect the souls of the dead.
It's ominous.
That's an important detail we should have heard.
The black are the maintainers of the doors. The white ones are the
On libraries, they have to get
It sucks
start
souls.
sucking souls to keep the library open.
the white ones run the calculations.
Can you let me know when a minute has passed? I'm starting to cast a spell.
Okay, what are you casting?
Lehman's tiny hut.
Awesome.
I'm just gonna block the door with it.
Interesting. Okay. All right.
Like everybody here will be able to walk through it. But including our little friends, the librarians, but nothing else will be able to pass this barrier.
What kind of rug is it?
So it's like I don't know the name of things, but you know the ones that have like really bright Indian patterns on it. There's a name for them, and I don't know what it is. But yeah, it's a long square rug. Or
Well, I scooped
rectangular,
that
rather.
sucker out of the way, and in the process, this is a really nice rug. It's a really, really attractive rug.
I imagine you like in cartoons, like you start rolling up the rug and then you run on top of it to like roll it up
Okay,
faster.
roll it up
You know what I'm
faster.
talking about?
So I use full speed to roll the rug up.
Juries, by the way.
What's that?
Juries, if they're actually in.
I'm
type
not
of rug.
hearing you very clearly. I'm sorry.
Different juries. I'll just send a. It's fine.
Juries.
Okay. Sorry. Okay. So, you're rolling up the rug. You do see as it forms, there is what looks to be a trapdoor with several bolts that just manifest itself.
Are the bolts on our side?
Quite tell like how many bolts there are, but at least 2 of them are actually on your side.
Can I turn the bolt?
Man,
I,
Don't-
the,
No.
Just
We
lock
want to
it.
leave that locked.
lock it. Like, is it unlocked? Can I just click lock it?
Is my detect
off
magic
as being
still?
locked.
What's that?
It starts off as being locked.
Oh, it is locked. Okay, sorry.
Yes.
I was like, well, we got bolts on our side. Just can't come in.
Yes.
Does my
So
detect
yeah.
magic give me any details about this door?
So it's an odd kind of conjuration that you've not seen before. Estelle kind of fast explains this as like there are very specific things that can open a portal from an existing library outside of this space into this library. One of the things that is a requirement, a prerequisite, if you will, before a doorway will open, is that a death has to have occurred somewhere in that space. We become aware, or they rather become aware, of a doorway opening unnaturally when someone is murdered specifically for the purpose of opening a doorway.
So
Oh,
is the door itself? What does it look like? What is it made out of?
It is a like thick wood, the best you can tell,
Okay.
with iron bolts.
Oak, maple, chestnut. I'm just looking.
mahogany.
And
Mahogany.
you said at least 2 of the bolts are on our side. Where
Yes.
and the third one is where?
There are 2 more, and it seems like they bolt from the other side. You do hear them unlock.
I lock them.
So
I have
yours are
access to
already
those.
locked.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ones that you have access to already are.
And the ones on the other side, we just heard them
Oh,
unlock.
we heard the other side.
Yeah.
Yes.
I knock on the door. Hello.
Hear
So
this.
so the bolts on the other side, does it like come all the way through? Can I see like the mechanism of them on our side? Or is it like an actual bolt?
Oh, so they are different kinds of locks. One of them you can see through, like it's one where you kind of got the other face of it on your side. You just don't have access to the locking mechanism. The other one, well, I guess you wouldn't actually know that it's there, but
Okay.
it's more of a bolt.
Do I
But
think
you hear-
do I think that either of the bolts that are on our side go all the way through?
One of them would.
What's that?
One of them would.
Okay. That one, I am going to cast heat metal on it.
Cool. Jason?
This is not a question Paul would notice, but Tefan would probably notice this. The hinges on the door. Do the hinges show it where it would swing upward, or do the hinges look like they would cause the door to swing inward?
Upward.
So the door would open
Okay.
out like this.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's on the ground, or did it pop up?
It is
On
on
the
the ground.
So it's on the ground laying flat.
Flush with the
I'm
floor.
laying on the door,
Is it-
knocking on the door.
Yes, you are.
Okay.
This has not escaped me.
Okay.
It could get funny in a moment.
Is there like is there a gap anywhere, or like is there like a lock that we could go through, or that we could see through? I'm thinking of turning Archimedes into a spider.
But that space is now red hot.
Yes.
Okay.
Also, after I've cast the spell and it is now red hot, I'm going to pull my pitons out of my pack and then just go around the door on the non-hinge side and just start driving pitons into the gap to keep the door from opening. I have 10 of them. And I'm going to start just pounding them in like door stops.
Just give me like 30 more seconds. Thank you, Tefan.
So
Am I the only one who really wants to know what's coming through this door?
No, I do. I was just trying to send a spider in there first to do a little recon.
go ahead and everybody roll me initiative. You're not in order yet, but you will be soon.
Oh man, I rolled bad twice.
Oh,
All right.
I apparently can't read numbers. I was like, this is a 20-sided die. How did I roll a 23? Like, I just can't read is the problem. That was a 13. Okay, so you got 8, Tefan.
That's a 9.
You got 9, Tefan. I
Okay,
still
numbers
can't.
are rough.
Yeah, numbers are hard. The English is hard. Numbers are hard. Whatever. Oof.
22.
Oh, 22. Okay. I thought it was just a 2. I didn't know that was possible.
Paul has a 10.
Paul has a 10. Okay. Thea, what'd you have?
5.
5.
5.
Thea. Okay. God.
See, was that a cat? It didn't focus in very well.
Yeah, no, I was trying to see if I could get it to focus. It's actually a tiny little dragon thing.
Okay.
You know what would be hilarious?
You're not needed, just so you know.
I should probably mute because I don't want to give Danny ideas, but I'm not going to.
What was that?
If Eden gets to cast Tiny Hut. Oh, well, I know. I guess I could pass through it, so never mind.
What, did everybody except for you gets to pass through it?
Well, no, I was thinking like if he casts the hut and then the door like slams open, like, and I'm like on the door, in the door in the hut, just crushes me, like all just instant dies. It's completely crushed. So, but I was like, I can pass through the hut, so
Yeah.
so I'll just fly out
Just
of it.
end up in the floor.
Yeah.
Right. The theory, though, is that the door shouldn't be able to open because nothing can pass through physical or magically. And so it shouldn't be able to open once I have this up. That was what I was going for.
Gotcha. That's a
Is
cool
Eric
thing.
with us?
No, Eric is with his dad's team.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, and then they'll both join you for the next one, assuming you don't die. We'll see.
Yeah. It's big as something.
Best of luck.
Okay. So, okay, so we have heat metal. What damage does heat metal do, Keith, before we continue on this bizarre thing?
It does 2d8.
2d8. Go ahead and roll that.
That is going to be 11 points of fire damage.
Okay. So, you do hear this like, and a sizzle. There's like this burning flesh smell to it that comes through the keyhole, but it doesn't let go. Excuse me.
Actually, so if the creature is holding or wearing the object and takes damage from it, you have to make a con save.
Oh, okay.
Or it has, or if if it fails, it it basically drops it.
Drop it.
It's a nat 20.
Ooh.
Dang it. That's okay.
It was a good shot. It was
Well, let's hope Danny doesn't start rolling really good today.
That's okay
Today's the
because
day.
I can cause that damage again with my bonus action every round.
I mean every round that it's hanging on to it. So
Yep, exactly.
you know. Okay. So this will probably eat that action. We are going to you hear this rumbling. We're probably getting close to the minute. I don't know that we've actually been through a full minute. But there is this from below where you see the sides of the locks giving. It's not totally out yet, but you can tell that it's not going to take much. So several of the bolts kind of they're pulling crumbles of floor with them. These are hard hits. It's not that it's a poor door. They are hard hits.
So the pitons
So
are not helping at all.
they do help. That kept them from
Okay.
completely like blowing up on the first one.
If they're still holding on to it, they take another 7 points.
Okay. That one.
And make the con save.
Ooh, oh god. Get it.
That is a 17 plus 4.
Yeah, that's going to be
Yeah.
too much. It does, however, have disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks since it's still holding on to it.
Okay. So there is. Let me check and make sure I remember what these black librarians can do. Okay, well that's convenient at least. All right, they can't cast anything yet. They are kind of limited, but there is another from below. Paul, you're gonna need to roll me a deck save as this door flies off its hinges.
Oh man! Before I had a take. Okay. I was about to click my immovable rod on the door.
Well, maybe
Ah,
Well, the door's
Oh,
gone off the
yeah.
hinges already. So
that was a really awesome idea, though.
I mean,
Yeah.
you could still put it in the way
You
so that
could,
like
yeah. Well,
whatever's we'll have to like get past it somehow.
yeah, that's a 19 on the deck save.
okay. So you land this. The door flies up. The gnome flies the other direction. And you do like a really nice, like, you stick the landing really well. It's a little bit of a superhero landing. There's a small crack in the floor in that particular tile as you, and just nail it. The the door kind of flies in the opposite direction and takes out one of the shelves of books. And the red librarians immediately just kind of pick up and start like mending the shelf, and the yellow librarians start mending the books. It's the library's immune system, man. So the let's see, we've got okay. So your spell comes up and immediately gets dispelled by the person kind of ringleading the gaggle that is below you.
Question. Do they have to be able to see me to dispel it? Or, like, are they doing dispel magic, or are they doing, like, a counter spell?
They are dispelling magic.
Okay, dang.
So I think as long as they can
Yep.
tell, like that there is magic going up, they can dispel it.
Can I
That
dispel someone's dispelling magic?
You could counter spell with dispel.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Dispel.
Have
Oh.
counterspell, you could. So what you see, you gather that this is not the thing that dispelled the magic, but what you see coming out of the hole are these weirdly heavily armored half zombies. Like, to call them a zombie would be accurate, but they are very skeletal. Like, at least half of their flesh is gone. And Paul, with how close you were to it on that deck save, are you still going to be... Are you aiming for being close by to the opening?
Yeah, I'm not trying to disengage from where they're at yet. So, I mean, if that now you tell me, because the physics of how that door got pushed, like, I mean, if it throws me, like, I don't have control over the distance I travel in this circumstance, right?
Well, you would have control over when you exited the door, because you were on it. So for you to make that deck save, you would at least have control over, like, when you parted ways with the door.
Sure. I mean, I would say that it would probably have just been a reaction. So the moment the door came off the hinges, the first thing I was going to do was try to land. So probably pretty immediately to get off the door and get to the ground.
Okay. So you would still be within sight of this. So below, you see a woman who is standing. My board got all weird for a second here. Gotta pull this back up. Okay, there we go. There is a woman who has currently what looks like an old man just by the head, holding it here. They're like whips of light from her fingers wrapping around this man's skull. And like her eyes are glowing. She looks very youthful, like this radiant energy around her. And you can kind of see she just collapses in his skull with her fingers. And all of the energy just kind of gets pulled from him. She lets him drop to the floor limp and looks up and makes eye contact with you. Let's see.
I give her a wink like, what's up? Hey, Kiri, you look strong.
Let's see. Our first person is gonna be a steal. He is going to... He's gonna put a moonbeam on her. And you can kind of see that it sears some of the undead. There are four of these like undead zombie things trying to come up ahead of her, like clamoring up. And they all get partially caught in that space. So that is what he can do right now. He's got more stuff in the tank for later. And Eden.
Said that they were wearing armor.
Yes.
What kind of armor?
So it is breastplate, like breastplate and accoutrement. So like not
Are we
The
talking like leather breastplate, steel?
oh, steel. Yeah, they're heavily armored. Sorry.
Good, good.
Oh,
In that case, oh shoot, but that's probably not what I don't think would be a good thing to do. Okay. Um, so with this door, is it sort of doing the same like weird physics thing that we've seen already once today, where like she's looking through the door, maybe this way, but she's standing like how does this work? Is she looking up to see Paul through the door?
she is looking up to see Paul. Yes.
Okay, so it is like if somebody were to go down, they would still be going down when they got to the other side.
Yes.
In that case, we're going to so Eden is going to draw his sword and he's going to pluck one really loud note on his bell. And he's going to cast compulsion on all of these zombies who need to make a wisdom save.
So all four.
Well, yeah, all four.
Okay.
Um,
Wisdom save.
mhm.
I bet you they've got a negative wisdom. Oh no, they don't actually. But it's not a high positive. Ooh. Okay. Um. Two of them definitely fail. One of them definitely succeeds. And then 14
Fails.
fails. Okay, so 3 fail.
So those three, for flavor, they're gonna start like dancing. Now, that being said, they can take an action on their turn before they move. Yeah, uh, but they are going to go back the way they came, which I suspect means that they're going to fall on top of their compatriot.
Interesting. Huh. Okay, so they are actually next in order. What what you said that they could take an action
Mm-hmm.
to
They can take their action, whatever their action may be. They just have to use. So the
their
spell doesn't.
movement.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
As much of its movement as possible to move in that direction on its turn. It can take its action before it moves. After moving in this way, it can make another Wisdom saving throw to try to end the attack.
Okay, how far does it need to move? Like
It's
movement?
full. It's full movement.
Okay. Well, this is gonna be
Um,
funny.
and it does provoke opportunity attacks. So they can make an attack or whatever their action on their turn, but it does provoke opportunity attacks, which I assume at least Paul will get.
Okay. So, well, this is gonna be
Does it?
interesting.
Does it?
What?
Because I always thought that if something was well, no, they're moving
Yeah,
themselves though.
forced movement usually does not, but this one specifically says, but it will provoke opportunity attacks to move in the designated direction.
Okay.
But usually, yeah, most force movement doesn't get opportunity attacks. This spell just specifically gives it.
Gotcha. So, the two kind of in the direct path of the doorway, um, they are going to throw out their action for Eldritch Voltage. So that is going to be one to Paul. Actually, before we do that, where is everybody? You are in between. You are in like an aisle that's a reasonably large aisle. So you are kind of right in the middle of this aisle. Paul, you are really close here, like right up against the door.
I would have been
Where is
too.
everybody else oriented?
I would have been right up against the door too because I was trying to pound the pitons in.
That's right. So you would be. We're gonna put you at the other side than than Paul.
Okay.
Okay, so you guys are right up against it.
I also would have been because I was trying to cast my thing right on because I have to be in the middle of the dome.
That makes sense. Okay. So we've got 3 there. Thea.
I mean, relatively close, but probably standing back. I mean,
Okay, so you
Are
would
you
Not
probably
right in the line of fire.
not right directly there.
I'm gonna put you and Estiel close together, about like 10 feet away. Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then we've got minions on your side surrounding. We'll just use X's and O's. I just want to be able to figure out where the heck everybody is. Okay. So, the 2 that can see, because they are up at the top. Well, I guess if you guys are all like leaning in, you would all be visible. Are you like leaning in to see what's going on down there?
Oh, I totally am.
Okay, so Paul and Eden are. Tefan.
I don't know that I would be.
Okay.
Especially with things coming out.
Yes, especially with things coming out. No.
So one of them would not be able to hit without like friendly fire happening. So 3 of them are gonna take these attacks. Gonna be. Oh, that's definitely gonna hit. Okay, so a 15 is gonna be the lowest attack on this.
That's my button.
That's your button. Eden, does that hit?
Yep, me too.
Okay.
My AC is
So-
is 16.
AC is 16? Okay. You are not visible to them right now, so they are not going to attack you. So, let's see. That means, Eden, you are going to take... Ooh, that was icky. You're going to take 10 points of slashing damage. Nope, wrong one, sorry. That was looking at the wrong multi-attack. Which also means I rolled the wrong dice for the damage. I mean, you don't have 2 different types of damage, so there's at least that. So you are going to end up with 11 points of force damage, because it's Eldritch, right? Lightning damage, sorry. And Paul...
Let's make a concentration check.
So you end up taking 20 on the dot.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
That's
You took 2 of them, so...
I kept
Alright.
concentration.
And then they start to retreat the other direction and indeed fall all over themselves. Let me roll some dex saves to see if they're actually able to even keep from being prone. Oh wow. 2 of them stay on their feet and continue running backwards, boogieing backwards, I guess. And the other 2 are now prone at the feet of this lady, who also has to make a dex save.
oh, please fall prone.
And she... Oh, she only has a +3, so I bet she doesn't make the save. 13? She does not. She is also knocked prone under one of the people who is now knocked prone. Well played,
I
sir.
love prone mage users. I'm gonna...
Fabulous. Okay.
Please don't look
Um,
there.
So, yeah. All right. That brings us
We also don't want her to die on this side of the portal. So
Fair. Paul.
Geeter.
Yeah.
Or whoever, I guess.
I would
Get
like to
someone.
rage.
Yes.
All right.
Yes,
This
you would.
chick clearly looks like she's in charge.
Yes, most
And
definitely.
she is now laying flat on the ground, pretty much right below me.
Yes.
I'm going to pull out the sword, and I'm just going to do a Olympic dive.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Before you do that, because you were like, you landed in my brain, you landed like right on the other side. I didn't do opportunity attacks. I forgot. So hold that thought. And all of you guys who were actually surrounding that, you get opportunity attacks at one of the two that were like right in the doorway.
Okay.
One of them has already been a little bit hurt, so you can differentiate hurt or not hurt. So Tevin, Eden, and Paul, you get an opportunity attack on one of these guys
Okay.
as they
All
run.
right.
I'm going to assume a 28 will hit.
Oh goodness, yes.
Yeah. And then that's 2d6.
Right.
Yeah, there'll be a click and a whine, and I'm gonna go after the one that's not been hit yet. And
Okay.
there's this bright violet beam of light that shoots out from my chest plate.
Nice.
Wait, is that one a line? Is that one a line attack, or is that one just like a single target?
It's just a single target.
Okay.
It's my lightning launcher. 25 to
Nice.
hit.
25 definitely hits.
And we'll deal a whopping 5 points of lightning damage.
A little bit counts.
Does a 15 hit? I
It
was
does
going
not.
after the hurt one, but yeah, okay.
Barely.
I'll miss.
Like you would have one more, you'd have had him. Okay. And Paul, which one are you going for?
Whichever one's closest to me, I'm not going to differentiate.
Fair enough. We'll go with the hurt one being closest to you.
12 points of damage
12. Nice.
with Arboretum, so it's magical.
Very nice. Good deal. Okay. So good job, guys. Okay, now carry on with your.
Geeter.
So I rage,
Yes, you do.
and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Arboretum in my hands, and I'm going to dive right into this prone woman on the ground. And because she's prone, doesn't that mean I get, is it
You
You get
advantage.
advantage, yeah.
advantage on the attack? Okay. So I don't have to use my
So you've gone down in the door.
yeah, I'm diving directly down.
Okay.
Like Paul is here and Paul is gone now.
Okay.
It's
I also have a question because I think I remember something about that particular sword. If he clears all the way through her wherever he hits her, does that count as it being planted in the ground so that it activates its tree effect?
which Paul hasn't discovered yet, by the way.
Yeah.
So,
Paul's about to
Evens or
grow a
odds?
tree.
Paul, evens or odds? Evens are going to be in your favor to make that thing a tree.
we'll go with odds. Paul's an odd fellow.
Oh, I guess like I just kind of said what that would be. Yes, apparently this is a dirt floor.
Yes.
Okay. So I make my dive. I get advantage on the attack because she's prone. I'm using Arboretum, and I'm going to use Great Weapon Master on this. So, does an 18 hit?
18 does in fact hit. That is the button.
Okay, so she will take 6 max damage. Okay, 12. So that's 22, 31 points of damage
Very nice.
in my first attack. So I just dive, bury that into her on my first attack.
Awesome. So, you guys don't know what she is yet. You hit the ground with this sword.
Uh-huh.
And I actually forget. Do you have the stats up with how that
Reagan
works?
I just pulled them
it
up. Yeah.
Awesome. What are the conditions around that? I don't have that in front of me.
As once per long rest, you can use your action to plunge the hilt of the sword into the ground. The tree will take root and sprout a regenerative pool in a 10-foot radius. For the duration, the sword is planted into the ground and cannot be used to attack. Any friendly creature starting its turn inside the pool regains 6 hit points per round for 1 minute, or until the sword is uprooted. It's a 2+2 attack and damage rolls. So did you
Okay.
add 2 to your damage?
Yeah, I've got that
Okay.
in here.
So, tricky thing here. You can't bury it to the hilts because there's a person in the way.
Okay, so I can't get a tree.
You can't get a tree.
Okay.
But I'm going to flavor this a little bit differently. You feel as it stabs through her and into the ground, you do feel like this slight rooting sensation. Like it's thinking about it. You don't know what that feeling is. But like as you're pushing down farther, you feel this traction there. And you feel her, like you can tell she's angry. She like grips at the ground and like starts there's these tendrils of light coming off of her hands onto the sword behind her. And you feel almost a rewind and you feel yourself come up. You guys can actually you are aware you are experiencing this. But time is rewinding manually and you manage to still stab her. We're going to say same damage, but it doesn't go all the way through her to contact the ground.
Okay.
So, she has a cool little reaction, and I like the idea of it not planting being a reaction.
That is pretty cool. I like that flavor.
You can
Okay.
rewind time.
So for my next attack, I've got the sword buried inside of her currently, and she is prone. Can I grab my immovable rod and jam that sucker into her and pin her down so she can't get up from prone in an attempt to keep her prone so I know that I can mess her up more?
Improvised weapon, yes. You can.
Or, well, I guess, did you finish my belt?
Not
Did
yet.
Teffin finish my belt?
Not yet.
Man. I was gonna think maybe I just sit on her and click it on. Just but
Like saddle her?
yeah, just saddle her, click it.
Started it, but I haven't finished it yet. Actually, you're going to hear from above you, just sort of as a free action. Paul, hit her and move.
So yeah, but I'll take the immovable rod as a improvised weapon and try to. I mean, the goal is to get her pinned. So if I don't do any damage, that is whatever. But I'm not doing this gently. I'm slamming it into her deep so to hold her in place.
Okay. Yeah.
So just roll an attack for that.
Yeah. Improvised weapon attack.
Okay. 19.
Okay, so that does in fact hit. I think improvised is a D4.
Yep, D4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then plus my just whatever my normal modifiers. So that'll be 8 points of damage.
8 points of damage
on that, and then I will use my falling movement, like me falling. How much? I'm obviously it's going to use some of my movement, right? How much of my movement would I have used in that situation?
That would have been about a 10-foot fall. Pretty shallow ceilings in this.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to use my the eagle totem that allows me to take the dash and not provoke opportunity attacks. Okay. So I'm going to dash out of there with my dash movement at 35 feet and just kind of get enough distance where I'm not right in her melee, but close enough that I can get back in for the next round for attacks.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, you are able to do that. Very good. Let's see.
And this is how Paul dies, guys. Just so y'all know. Just go into this with this super powerful magic user and 4 zombies.
So, I mean, some of those are on the other side, so it's fine.
So
Tefin, you are next in order because she actually went to blow the door off. So she got a 30 on her stuff. So she went first to start all this.
Okay, Paul
To
is
look
out of
up
the
this
way,
map.
so I'm gonna sort of like peek over the edge of the door, and I'm gonna make an arcane gesture, and I'm gonna cast Shatter centered right on her, and I'm guessing the zombies are within 10 feet of her.
The zombies are within 10 feet of her. 2
Okay.
of them are on top of her, kind of.
So all of them, she and the zombies, all need to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. So we got
That was pitiful.
4 zombies. Well,
I kinda
they
hope that
rolled
she's
really
like,
pitifully.
we really came through the door.
Jeez, okay, all these guys have like +5 to their con. Only one of them is gonna make it.
So only one hit above 15.
Yes.
Okay. So that one is only going to take 4 points of thunder damage. All the rest of them are going to take 9 points of thunder damage. Like,
Okay.
all of them.
So everybody takes 9. And then so that's gonna. Okay.
And then I'm just going to kind of roll back around the door so that they can't see me.
There's still one up there by you, though.
Is there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't catch all of them with the compulsion.
Yeah, it got most of them, but
No worries.
not everybody. Okay. So that brings us to Thea.
So Paul's still down in the hole. And all my feet.
The gnome in the hole.
No in the hole. Well, that one's on the floor now. So is everybody still down in the hole, including Paul, correct?
One zombie's up there with you.
One zombie's up with us. Okay. So on that zombie, I'm gonna cast Chill Touch. Which is sorry, I haven't D&D'd in forever.
It's fine. Like, I am juggling so many different stat blocks and weirdness here.
That is 23 to hit.
That will, in fact, hit.
Sweet.
Are these zombies immune to necrotic damage?
Most part.
Well, it says if it's undead, it takes 1d8 necrotic damage and can't regain any hit points. If you hit an undead target, it has disadvantage on my attack. An attack roll against me.
Sure.
Words are hard.
Sure. But if the zombie specifically, some zombies have like immunity to necromancy.
Well, yeah, but I wouldn't know that.
Actually,
I'm
no. It's
checking
immune
if any
to
of the different-
exhaustion and poison. But and it has it's no. Condition immunities, exhausted, poisoned, damage immunities, poison, radiant. So this one can in fact take necrotic damage.
Okay. Sweet. All right, I got it. So that is 8 points of necrotic damage for him. And then he has disadvantage on any attacks against me.
Okay.
And then I will bonus action Shillelagh on my quarterstaff so I can do a little bit more damage down the road.
Nice. All right. That brings us back up to the Fate Weaver.
I mixed up my 8s and my 10s. I have no the 8s in here. There they are.
Just
So you. Ooh, sorry. What's
Sorry, that was a yawn.
Oh, okay. You were not with that improvised weapon attack. You were not able to penetrate in a way that it is like stuck in her. How do you imagine it looking so that I can figure out how she's gonna try to get out of this?
right. So my goal was just to get it jammed like deep, like essentially kind of like right here, sort of under the ribs, to try to get it to a point where, like, in order for a person to be able to try to get free from it, they would have to cause damage to themselves pretty significantly, and be unable to reach the mechanism. Right. So, like, the point is to jam it as deep into that spot and lock it in, so that way they can't get it out easily.
Okay. So, my little baby Fate Weaver, is going to. Okay. She is going to. Yeah, I think she's gonna have to use that action to crawl out from that. She can plane shift, but that would take too long, and if she ends up like. Yeah, I don't think she's gonna wanna. Hold on. Actually, she doesn't have a specific number of spell slots, so that's going to be how she gets out of this. But it means that you don't have to deal with her for the next round. So, what Paul sees, oh well, and I guess anybody looking through that hole, is her effectively phase out, and the guy that's like partially on top of her, like ends up crashing onto the ground. She does not have a bonus or anything that will give her a way back in this round. She'll have to do that next round. So.
Oh, before I forget, the 3 that failed the compulsion roll can try again at the end of their turn. I forgot to remind you of that, so they can try again. Otherwise, they have to keep trying to use their movement to go down.
Roll to see. Those are all single digits. So they did not make that save. They'll have to wait until the end of their next turn. Okay, Estelle. Let me bring him up here. He's gonna hold off on that one until she's back. I've already got a moonbeam up. Okay, for these guys, he's gonna come over. Oh, actually, that one. That one's gonna give you guys more hands. More for me to have to look at, but more hands. Do Conjure Fey. Because I apparently am a glutton for punishment. Didn't have enough little critters to have to keep up with.
8 pixies.
Oh, wait. This might not be what I thought it was anyway. If you don't use... Oh no, it can attack. I had to make sure of that. I'm sorry. Thankfully, he only has one slot for this, so I don't have to deal with this very often for myself. Okay, so Fey creature. Hey Keith, do me a favor and find me a badass little fey creature of a challenge rating of 6 or lower.
Okay.
That can do some nifty little things. Because he's going to send his little fey down there. He has a ring that lets him do that. He's going
Like
to.
pixies or fairies that can cast polymorph and then just run away. That is a tried and true classic. You summon 8 pixies or fairies, whichever one it was, and then you have them cast polymorph on the party. So each one has concentration, and they turn you into T-Rexes, and they all go hide so that their concentration doesn't get broken. And then the whole party comes
Amazing.
riding in as dinosaurs.
I can just imagine T-Rex Paul. I mean,
Oh,
T-Rex
no.
Paul would be amazing.
He would level this library to the ground.
Yes, he would. While we figure that out, Eden, go ahead and take your turn.
Eden's going to take a quick look at both Thea and Teffa and be like, "You got this one?"
Should be okay.
He jumps through the hole and flares his wings out of behind his cape, and he's gonna look up. What is the ceiling like on the other side of the hole?
So, this is like an old, well cared for wooden building. So this has got like the arc beams up top, um, and a vaulted. Well, I guess it wouldn't be vaulted. You're in a shallower part because it's 2-story. But there are beams that give it support, so you would actually be under the floor of the top, so it would be board above you.
Okay, so Eden's gonna say bye bye portal. He's gonna cast minor illusion and just make it look like the portal's gone.
Interesting.
What does that look like on our side?
Probably just like gray or brown. Like it probably looks like wood on the other side. But like
Okay.
from this side is what he's going for. He's like he'll say it really loudly so that hopefully this wizard can hear it. Bye bye, portal. And then he's going to land, and we're going to give a bardic inspiration to Paul.
That's awesome. That's really that's a fun, weird little thing to do. Okay. Uh
What's your
Wait,
bardic
Bard.
inspiration at
It is a
D
D8.
D8?
So you're looking for fey creatures under CR6?
Up to no greater than CR6, yeah.
You can call in a green hag or a sea hag.
Oh, oh,
Okay, that's kind of amazing.
Green hag is a CR3. Sea hag
He
is
would
a
probably call in a
CR2.
green hag. Yeah. Okay.
Most of the rest of the fey creatures that fit that description are actually good aligned.
You want to toss me that into the chat, please?
Yep.
Yeah, I am a glutton for punishment. I now have like 85,000 different things to volley.
wait, Keith. Were you specifically looking for one that was evil aligned? Because this was
No.
coming from a steel, right?
Yeah.
Oh. In
Yeah,
that
this isn't coming
case,
from the other one.
yeah, in that case, I mean, they're still the more powerful. They're still the more powerful uh, that show up. Um, the other options, you've got dryads, satyrs, sprites, pixies, or blink dogs.
Oh, I had a blink dog in another camp.
That makes me happy. A dryad would be kind of in step with him, but
Okay.
also like we can flavor these as good things that just have some dark magic twists to it.
Yeah,
If you
she
would
just misunderstood
rather
Sea.
have the dryad, let's go that way.
I mean, we
She's
can have a
misunderstood.
green hag and call it an archdryad. It's fine.
It's up to you. Whichever you'd like.
Yeah, send me the green hag.
There you go.
Okay.
Like there are a bajillion different fey things. We're just going with something. I should also look up what bonus actions he has, because betcha he probably has something. Oh, no bonus actions. He has reactions. And legendary actions that I can't use right now. So.
So she casts Summon Fae, Find Fae, and then.
Yeah, I think so.
Estiel did.
Oh yeah, not she. A steel cast.
Oh, okay, good. Because I was about to dispel her.
No, that's we
Yeah,
want
don't
that.
I
dispel
want
it.
her.
It's on your side.
Bless
Bless
you.
you.
Excuse me.
There you go.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry.
So yeah, he's gonna cast
And
that.
it's hard to keep up with sometimes.
Sure.
And so there's also now, for you guys, it will look more like a dryad. This is just gonna be a good flavored green hag, because he would not call something evil, but he is going to tell her to clean up the zombies, and it is going to claw into the nearest one. So oh, and that is very successful. So the one that she lands on top of, she swipes with effectively an entire freaking tree branch. As her arm extends, it kind of grows into this massive tree branch, and she is going to clobber one of the ones that fell, for a significant amount of damage. Yes, that was a significant amount of damage. Okay. And that brings us to, oh great, all the minions. So the good minions now think that the problem has been resolved because there's a patch on the floor. So the librarians are not very much use this round. The bad are gonna smack down. So the two that are prone?
At least so, yeah.
I think it was two, yeah.
Yeah.
The two that are prone use their movement to stand.
Their movement has to be moving away. All of their movement has to be moving away.
They have to stand first, so
Yeah.
they stand and then move
So they get
away.
half their movement, but they also can use their action before they move away.
They are still going to Eldritch Bolt.
Yeah.
So all four of them are going to, since they have the ranged attack, they are still going to try to attack. Eden and the hag are the only ones that can be seen right now. Paul is down there too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 2 are going for Eden and 2 are going for Paul. What is your...
Forgive me, but wasn't one of the skeleton things up with Teflon and Dia still? Because my compulsion didn't get it.
Oh, so yes, it would have been upward there. Thank you. That's probably good for everybody because they hit hard. They're not crazy tough, but they do hit hard. So there's going to be, well, actually with the hag there's going to be one attacking each of you. Paul, yeah, these are all going to hit. Let's see. Paul, that's going to be 11 points of damage for yours. The hag takes 6. Oof. Eden, that's 14.
Ooh, yikes.
Yeah.
They hit hard.
They do hit hard.
Yeah.
Does that drop me out of the air?
How much health you got? Like what's keeping you up there? Remind me.
I'm flying with
You've
my
got
wings.
flight.
He has
Okay.
wings.
Does that drop your health to like, is that beyond half of the health you had left?
No.
Good. Roll me a dex save then. You might lose control a bit. You'll stay airborne, but was that a 1?
I have good dex, but that was a 1.
Ugh.
Yeah, I think with the 1, you get grounded.
Okay.
It knocks you out of control and it kind of grounds you.
Okay, I will make my concentration check too. Okay, we're good. So the illusion stays up.
Alrighty. Heffin, the one that's up, goes for you.
Okay.
I'm assuming an 18 hits.
It will, yes.
Okay. And that's gonna be 5 points for you.
Okay.
And this damage is lightning damage, right? It's not physical damage. I mean,
This is lightning damage, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we can get to half.
Mm-hmm.
The other kind, they have not hit with the other type of attack yet. So, okay. And they are now actively engaging with you, Teffin, since you are the closest. So they're kind of locked in, paying mainly attention to you.
Just the one?
Just the
There's
one.
only one up
through
there
the
with
floor.
you.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's 3 down below.
All right. Sounds good.
So the 3 down below have to run away, but they can make their save at the end of their turn.
So we will go ahead and have them do that. Well, if nothing else, I can't roll that save to save my life, so only one of them actually makes that save, and the other
Okay,
two
so
are farther
ends-
away now.
Okay, it ends for the 1, and then the other 2
Okay.
their full movement. Or, I guess half their movement, because they had to stand from.
Okay, cool. All right, so we've got that. That brings us to Paul. Hey, Bada.
How close is the nearest enemy to me?
Because of the move, well, actually, no. The 2 that are moving backwards would be moving past you. So, like,
If they move past him, they do provoke opportunity attacks.
yeah, so actually, before you actually take your full turn, you get opportunity attacks on the 2 that move past you.
Doesn't an opportunity? I only get one opportunity attack, right? I don't get to attack on 2 different opponents.
True, yes.
Correct.
Yeah, because it's just your reaction, right?
Correct.
Okay. Does a 15 hit?
Not quite.
Can I use my bardic inspiration to get him?
Can.
Does a 17? No, 18 hit.
You just needed one more point, so anything you rolled would have gotten you there.
Alrighty. So I hit him with Arboretum. 4. Oh, that's not great. That'll be 14 points of damage.
Is this one, are you taking aim at the one that is the most hurt or one of the fresher ones?
I honestly probably it's just whichever one comes by me first. So if you just want to roll at odds and evens to figure it out, because Paul is not a general or someone who's playing and he's going for the closest sucker.
So this is the one that is the most hurt, and that works to your advantage because it goes down.
Okay.
He's
So
taken
there's
a
only
fair
one
amount of
affected by the
damage.
spell.
What?
So there's only one left that is affected by the spell.
Correct. Right, so he be dead. Okay. And now it's your turn.
Okay. So the one that's still standing that's next to me, I'm going to go ahead and do my attack on that one. And so this will be Great Weapon Master and Reckless Attack.
Awesome.
So natural 20.
Yeah.
So now remind me with your crits, you have it where you roll the dice a double time or you just double the die? I can't remember. You do it differently.
So you do max damage for the first one so that you don't get screwed by a low roll, and then you
That's
roll
right.
the damage.
Okay. All right. So, hey, remember the numbers. Okay, so 12, 19, 28, 38 points of damage.
Oh, this one went from looking fine to looking real bad all of the sudden.
By the way, I just realized I forgot to add. Oh, no, never mind. Scratch that. Did add it. I remember that now. Okay, still up though?
Yeah, barely. It's like falling apart. It just like lost a humerus. Foot just fell off.
Oh.
Is it a double 20?
Natural 20.
Sweet.
So
finding
that's
his
another.
wounds.
So
Verified.
the exact same damage. Literally the exact same
That's
damage.
amazing. Well, it's very dead. It's so dead.
It's
Why couldn't the magic
It's a
person
super dead zombie. Super
It is.
dead.
It is
That's
so
only
dead.
number 7.
No.
Re-dead.
Damage on it.
Yes.
It's so dead it came back to life and then you killed it a second.
That is awesome. Okay, so, and that's it for yours.
I would like to use my movement to get in between the other zombie and Eden. So Eden is not like the one who's. So it doesn't go for Eden like it has to go through me first.
Okay, nice.
Thanks.
Good deal.
To impose myself between them.
Eden approves.
Oh,
Eden is flat in his face, so yeah.
you were able to do that, no problem. So that brings us to Tefan.
Okay, so I've got one right in front of me, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, so there's going to be sort of a flash of silvery metal, and the ring on his hand, I don't know, I guess it'd be his right hand, the ring on his hand sort of flashes and turns molten and reforms into a rapier in his hand, and he's just going to stab it a couple of times with the weapon.
Very nice. beautiful bean damage.
13.
Does not hit.
Dang it. Second hit is not going to hit as well. So second.
Dang it.
Dang it.
Ah.
It was. Ah! Not used to these weapons.
Feel that. I'm not used to flying.
Fair.
And I guess that's all I can really do.
Gonna keep engaged with it.
Yeah, I'm going to stay engaged with it.
Okay. Thea.
I'm gonna Eldritch Blast this zombie.
Blast him.
Blast him. There's still only one up, so 2 beams right at that one guy.
Yes.
That is 27 for one and 23 for the second.
That is going to hit in both events.
One. So that is a total of 22 points of damage total.
It's looking pretty bad too.
And then that's an action, not a bonus action. I guess I'm just gonna move a little closer because half our team's down in the hole, so we got to figure out how to get them out.
True. So, yeah, that brings us back up to the Fate Weaver, who is going to phase back into existence now. And so, Eden, you and Paul will get to see her kind of phase back just to the left of where she was before. She hasn't really seen where that connection is in the library, and it probably wouldn't let her in anyway that way. So she has to go through the actual entrance. And she
She cannot see the entrance.
Yeah, she can't see the entrance right now. Let's see. She is going to weave fate with you and Paul and the hag. So you see her extend her hand out, and those tendrils of light shoot out from her hand. And you need to make you all need to make dex saves for me. Oh, the witch fails.
5.
Oof.
Don't you have danger sense to help you with that, though?
Oh, you're right. I do. That gives me advantage, right?
Yeah, it gives you advantage.
16.
Much better.
Nice. Not high enough.
Food. Plus 7. 12.
Okay, so all of you failed. You got close, Paul. This strand, this magical thread jumps between the 3 of you. And now all 3 of you are tethered. That in a way that's let's see. When a creature tethered this way makes a saving throw against a spell effect or anything like that, each other creature tethered to it, you're treated as if the spell effect targets all of you, and your saving throws, dexterity saving throws are an auto fail, and the other saving throws are effectively an average. You can try to free yourself or another creature by making a DC 20 strength save. And on a success, you're no longer tethered. So, all three of you are now tethered. And using that, they are going to cast. No, I don't want. The stupid "Are you human" caches are really annoying.
Mm.
Let's try this again.
Answer is no.
I am Dancer.
Humanish.
I'm the Midnight Toker.
I ate human once.
Okay,
I
yeah.
ate a brownie once.
I'm somewhere stuck in the middle with all of you.
No, technically, I think Paul is stuck in the middle with everybody else. Okay, so that's gonna be Sunburst, Sunbeam rather, and that's not gonna be fun for you. It is a con save though, so you still get to make your saving throws,
Okay.
which is good because it's a lot. 68.
All of them need to make a concept.
Yeah.
Would you roll for them?
You want me to roll for you?
Ooh, actually. I was about to say, actually, you got lucky because I just realized that she used her first action to make the spell to phase back in. So you are bound, but she doesn't have the action economy to cast this time. So I am going to put these to the side. Go ahead and save that roll, though, Stephen.
Okay.
Since apparently it was a very good roll and you made it for this specific thing, she's going to do that to you at some point. So
Okay. Rolled a 17 for whatever that was.
yeah, go ahead and save that roll. Just jot it down because she's going to do that at some point. But she did not have the action economy to send that spell through.
That's very honest of you, Danny. I would have been like, nah, we're doing it. Y'all don't know. I'm gonna do it my
I
way.
kind of forgot that she had just had to phase back into existence because you did the whole immovable rod thing like a bamf. Okay, so
I have always, I think I mentioned this to you when you gave this to me at the beginning of this game. I have always wanted to have a player who had an immovable rod because I always am like, there are so many things you can do with an immovable rod.
because of you, I took one in a game that I play with some of the folks that I met at the Convergence last year, and it has been one of the coolest things. I've never done that before, and I love it.
Yeah.
So,
And
thank
the other
you.
one I want is a portable hole.
Yes. Portable holes are also amazing. Okay.
The cloak of many useful items or robe of many useful items.
Oh yeah.
It can have just like a pit. So poor Keith had to deal with us putting like, oh hey, I'm gonna throw up a 10-foot pit.
Yes, but once you use the patches, they're gone.
Yeah.
Well, Danny's looking stuff up, not to derail, but I have always wanted as a DM to have a big baddie who has a robe like that, and he just dumps everything in one go at the right in the middle of the fight. Like, it's just like, and as they're like, as everybody's like, we think we're gonna win, we're coming close, and then all of a sudden takes off a cloak and just has the robe of many things and just starts throwing all this crap out.
Bull mastiffs and
And I did
pits
change.
and
What is it?
door.
It's a cloak and it has these patches on it, but the patches have like all these crazy cool stuff on it.
Mm-hmm.
What's
And so
really
it's
fun
just-
is they're randomly generated. So there's this table even the number of patches is random. So
Yeah.
so when you get that, your DM gets to like roll all these fun dice and figure out what's actually on, how many patches, what's on the robe. It's all kinds of fun stuff.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, and then so you can rip a patch and throw it down, and then it casts the spell for that item.
Yeah, I think I had like healing potions. I think I had 2 bull mastiffs
Yeah,
randomly.
it's you can have creatures, you can
Random
have
thoughts.
you can have money on it, you can
Mhm.
have doors and windows. Excuse me.
Okay.
Ladders, I think. I think a ladder is one of the
Mhm.
items.
Cast Vicious Mockery because she can't actually do her claw attack while she's bound up like that. Wisdom save. Oh, she's gonna make it. Okay. Yeah, so that's not gonna actually do anything. Estelle, on the other hand, is going to, seeing how rough the zombie looks, Estelle is going to, rather than deal with the zombie, jump into the hole to make sure that you guys are okay.
Does the hole not look sealed up to him?
Not to him.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Forget.
He can tell that this is magic, so he's gonna jump in the hole. And then seeing
As a free action, I look at Teffin and go, "Now's our chance." I'm just saying.
We could leave him. We could leave him. We could leave
Seal the hole and leave.
there'll be somebody else's problem. All
Tempting.
right.
Very tempting. But
I would not blame you one bit.
I've got this
Honestly,
zombie in my face first. I got to deal with that.
Okay, fair.
like just legitimately as like a player, I'm letting you guys know if at one point Paul does something stupid and it's like we can't save him, he's just gonna have to be sacrificed. I will roll up
Abandon
another
Paul.
character if I've got to.
So the Estelle, as soon as he drops down, he's got another attack action. He pulls out a longbow that looks very beautifully etched and takes aim, fires at her, and that is going to hit. When it hits, it's almost like it bursts into like a little starry constellation on impact, and that is
I think I
going
remember this one.
to be. No, you do not know this one.
No.
7 plus. Is 14 points of piercing plus 9 points of fire damage. Okay. Okay. So that gives me that. Be across the room. She wants to use that cool reaction, but she only gets 3 of them, and she doesn't know if she's going to need to again, so she's going to reserve that. That's Estelle's turn. Eden.
So because of this thing, am I like stuck prone?
Oh, yeah, because you had fallen. You can stand, but functionally you are bound in the upper body.
I mean, I'll use
So,
half my movement or whatever to stand up, I guess. And we're going to. So he's going to look at her what is she focused on? Like, can he catch her eye?
She would be focused on you guys. Like she's pretty much drawn you into a kind of tether together. So yeah.
Okay. What does Crochet have to bind you here?
Roll me an insight check.
I'm not going to get to kill her, am I?
Insight 16.
You almost feel like you're talking through her. The question doesn't quite land. This also seems to catch Esteel's attention.
Okay.
But yeah,
So she does like she doesn't really react though.
she just smiles.
Okay. Is it okay, so I don't know if I understand specifically what this bond does. So if I cast a spell at her, it also affects me. Is the reverse true?
She casts a spell at you, it also affects her?
If I
Wait,
cast a spell on myself, for example, like disguise self, would it also disguise her? Or I guess better question, do I think that that is what would happen? Because I
probably not, you would think.
okay, so probably gotcha.
It seems like since she is the source of this spell or this energy, that she is in control of the passage of energy through it.
That makes sense. Um, in that case, we're gonna throw a dagger.
Dagger, dagger, dagger. You do have the option to try and unbind yourself from it too.
You said it was a strength save. Like
Yeah,
if he moves and he realizes that it's like he's gonna have to brute force out of it, he's not even gonna bother trying.
fair enough.
So he will throw his dagger that he has reloaded and does a or does a 19. Okay, so he will throw his dagger and he's trying to stick it in her in some way. Whether that be like in her armor, even like it doesn't have to be inside of her, but like he's trying to stick her with it.
You are able to land it.
Okay, and then a d4. She will take 6 points of damage.
Okay. D5 trombones. Okay. Good deal. And that is it on yours. The single
Oh,
minion. Ooh.
and another bardic inspiration for Paul.
Oh, sweet. Awesome. The one sad little minion down there with you guys, is going to take aim at. There are three of you. Paul is one. Eden is two. Hag is three. It is one. So Paul.
There's actually four of us though, because you said a steel
Oh
jumped
yeah,
down too.
Steel was down there too. Well, it was still a one, so Steel would have been ended up four. So let's see. Oh, but it's a 10, so I don't think it's gonna actually do anything. Uh, yeah, he daggers over towards you. But this is the first time you gather that the zombies might not necessarily work for this lady as a regular gig. This seems very new to them. So they're seeing this weird glowy thing that's holding you all together and going, "Ugh." Like he doesn't seem to be too keen on getting close to you with that, and he's a little bit worried about that Eldritch blast too, or the Eldritch bolt. So he kind of like swings at you with this weird thorny whip, and misses. So The the librarians up top with the one up there, one of the black librarians casts hold person on that guy who's still up there that's falling apart. And it works. So, that one guy who's fallen apart that you guys are working on killing is now held. And they can't leave the library, so they're just hanging out. Paul, your turn.
So I'm wrapped up in this stuff,
Yes, you can
and it
use
takes an
one of
action
the-
for me to try to get out.
Yes.
And how far away is the witch thing?
She is like, oh, you mean the Fate Weaver?
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
okay.
I don't understand magic. So she's a woman, she casts magic, she's a witch or a witch.
Yeah. So she is about 20 feet away from you.
Okay. I will use my first action to try to free myself from this. Because I can't move, right? I can't like close the distance and attack with this
Correct.
stuff, right? Yeah. So I'm gonna try to get out of it. So it's a strength.
Yes, strength save.
Okay. That's a 19.
Not
You have a bardic inspiration.
Yeah, add that bardic.
That is a 27.
Yes, you are able to break free from the tether.
I
And-
use full speed, like super gnome speed, to get right in her face. Like, maybe in an attempt to try to intimidate her a little bit, to be like, no, you're messing with the wrong gnome. And I'm going to use my bonus action for my attack, Reckless Great Weapon Monster.
Awesome.
That'll be 18.
18 will in fact hit.
Okay. And then that up. So, rolled a 1 and a 2 for damage on the dice. Still, I've got a pretty good stuff. So that'll be 12 plus, and so 22.
22 points of damage.
Yeah.
Nice. Good deal. She's looking like not rough, but you have definitely put a dent in her.
Yeah. So I'm like right in her face. So I don't want her going nowhere. So.
Okay. So you are staying right there. Thea. Yeah. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I skipped Teffin.
Stabby, stabby. Oh, that's a natural 20.
I mean, he has like 3 hit points left, so you were almost certainly going to kill him anyway.
Oh yeah.
You can just obliterate him now.
yeah. That is absolutely the first stab is just going to go right through him, and just like unzip him from head to whatever. And I still have one more attack, so I'm just gonna kind of look back at Thea and be like, in for a penny, and I'm gonna jump down and I'm aiming at our witchy friend with my second attack, or the bad guy woman.
So you'll have to close the distance, but you do have the movement to get there. So
Okay.
closing that.
So from the library, can I just not jump down onto her?
No,
You're
not
more likely to land on a steel or me.
Okay.
And you
Still
can't
would not
see
be
before you
immediately
go.
under the. Yeah, he would not be under the hole anymore, because he foresaw that people would be coming in through there. Now you, on the other hand,
I could not move. I fell. So I am right there.
So okay, so yeah, I'll hop down and close the distance with her and do my thing.
Knock over Eden. He goes prone again.
But I'm guessing a 9
Just
is
stood up.
I'm guessing a 9 is not going to hit her.
Oh goodness, no.
Okay. All right. That's me.
Nice try though. But the other guy is now dead, so that's nice.
Yep.
Okay, now Thea.
I'm gonna ruffle out my cloak and get it right back. I just wanted to read some books. I thought the library would be a fun trip. And I'm just gonna fall into the hole, and then I'll use my cape to fly.
That's awesome.
Fun. I've got 20 feet of flight speed. Can I get within 60 feet of her,
Yes.
of the witch lady? Okay. I am going to hex her as a bonus action, give her disadvantage on wisdom saving throws. And then I'm going to cast Dissonant Whispers on her. So she needs to make a wisdom saving throw against
Ooh.
17 at disadvantage.
She's got a 15. So she is
I
dissonantly
have
whispered.
a 7.
So she takes.
Can you even know D6?
Here. D6 and an extra D6. Wait. 12, 13. So she takes 13 points of psychic damage and 4 points of necrotic, if that's going to do anything.
You don't take full damage, Eden. You do take half. Yeah, it doesn't all filter back to you.
I forgot your legs. Oh, I totally forgot. You wouldn't know. You wouldn't know.
Yeah, you wouldn't know. You would see that she was casting a spell on them, but you wouldn't know what it does.
Like Reagan
and
forgot, but
also-
Thea didn't know.
Yeah,
Yep.
it also gets the hag too. She failed her save as well. That was how much damage total?
Total is 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
Oh,
Okay.
more than.
So that's gonna
You just hear all these like voices in your head that sound like Thea, like crawling in your head. Ugh.
And
It's kind of the worst.
But you don't even notice my reaction because I'm face down on the ground.
okay, so
Oh.
she
She has to move her full speed away from me.
Yeah.
all right. Is there something else that could like disadvantage or anything like that?
From the hex, she has disadvantage on all
Yes.
wisdom saving, but that's it.
Okay. For some reason, I thought Dissonant Whispers also had disadvantage for something. Okay, awesome. Well done. So, the librarians can't do anything. The Fate Weaver, in response to this, like, you can see that she is cringing as she goes and begins to retreat up the aisles.
Attack of opportunity.
Yes.
Same.
Yes. Get her!
Get her, boys.
I'm guessing a 12 does not hit.
No.
25.
Yes.
13.
Very nice. Good job.
Get back here.
So yeah, she is full speed is 30, so she has just crossed you guys probably about like 10 feet away in the other direction now from well, I guess from the hag and Eden. So yeah. Which also puts her pretty dang close to the two who just came in the room. And she would get an attack of opportunity from Estelle. Which
Well,
one?
doesn't she have to run? Doesn't she have to run away from you?
As soon as I cast the spell, she has to move her full movement away from me.
So she would have to run
Oh.
the other direction, right?
It's the other direction. Okay.
Okay.
That one probably does not provoke opportunity. Unless the spell specifically says it provokes them, most forced movement does not.
I did not know that.
I did not either.
What was it?
I guess like in D&D, like if the movement is forced, it doesn't provoke opportunity.
Oh,
Let me
Unless it
double
says
check
so
that
in the
one
spell.
specifically.
it
That
doesn't
was
specifically
just
say
never
anything
first.
about that. It just says the creature doesn't move into obviously dangerous ground, such as a fire or a pit.
Gotcha. Yeah, if it does not specifically say that it.
Okay. So not so much with the opportunity attacks.
The swing at her, and it's she's too fast. I'm gonna expect her to roll some.
We got more treats. We picked him up at this one too. We'll get him for you.
Oh, that's gonna.
Oh,
bring...
wait, that was her turn, right? Oh no, that was the end of Thea's. Never mind.
That was the end of Thea's. Yeah. Now we're back around to her turn. Does she have a turn since you cast that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, she does still get to take her action.
As well as her movement now is normal. It was just her reaction she didn't get.
Okay.
But she has that back now.
Oh yeah, so she basically she wastes her reaction on a dash essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, so she does that, and she is going to cast. This is the one where she's going to cast her sunbeam.
This is gonna suck.
Yes, it is. Where'd it go? Nope, not that one. You guys already made your wisdom saves, or no, dex saves, sorry. And which doesn't apply to Paul anymore anyway because you're out.
I failed my save, so the illusion is gone, so she can see up through the hole again.
Didn't you roll yours before and it was good?
But I did not. I forgot to roll for Thea. For the damage I took from Thea.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right. So, the two of you that are in... I mean, thankfully, it's not a huge roll. There were quite a few low numbers. It's still gonna suck some, though. So that's gonna end up being... Pardon me while I math. 22 points of radiant damage.
I could have to make a save. Was there a save for that one? That was the roll you told us to hold, right?
That's yeah, that's the con save.
Okay. So I rolled an unnatural 20 for that one.
Okay, good deal. So you do in fact save. The hag does not, and I think that might put her out of commission. Oh no, it does
Oh
not.
wait. Should I make that a disadvantage because of the holding thingy?
No. Well, actually, hold on.
Don't worry about the great weapon master, but you will reckless attack as soon as you get to roll.
Not with con. It wouldn't impact con.
That's
So, yeah, you're right there.
So is that half of 22 or?
So yeah, you would take half of the 22. So, and then sorry for all the juggling, you guys. See. And she's going to weave fate again and try to get Paul. She did this in the wrong order, but that's fine. She's going to try to get Paul, Thea, and Teffin back in the mix. So I'm going to need you guys to make dex saves for me.
Jason had to go check on little man, so
No worries.
I'm trying to roll for 2 here. So for Paul, that's a 22.
He will make it. What'd you get, Teffin?
It's
12.
You do not make it. You are now tethered to.
a 10 for Thea.
Nope. So Paul is still free, remarkably. I kind of forgot Estelle was still in the room. She probably should have gone for that one, but you know, what's done is done. So yeah, Paul is still freed. Estelle is still freed. You guys are now all tethered in that space. Okay. So the hag is so limited when she can't actually get closer to the lady. She's gonna try to get out. She's gonna fail to get out. Okay. And Estelle going to see. He's actually going to dispel her hold. All right. So you see him like reach out and grab the tether that's connected to all of you and shake. And as he shakes it, like there's this from both ends, like this loud popping sound. And it all like turns to like leaves and just falls to the ground. So that's gonna be
And
his
leaves.
spell. Huh?
It goes away, it leaves.
Yes, and it becomes leaves. Haha. Both simultaneously. And he is going to go ahead and stay back and take another longbow bolt. And he is going to choose to succeed that because he's got a few of those left in the tank. And okay. You see it sink in. Gonna end up like parts of her catch fire. But you see like this bolt hits really squarely and it's doing a number on her. And she pulls back. As she pulls back, you all feel yourselves rewind to the second that he actually takes the shot. And he misses. So that is Estelle's turn. Eden, back to you. You are now free.
I will stand up again.
Poor Eden.
And so she didn't react when I talked to her. So we're going to not bother doing that. Besides, Paul will be mad at me if we don't get a killer anyway. And we're gonna plant growth. So what happened with my dagger? Is it still,
Winner.
where at?
I imagined it probably being a shoulder.
Okay, plant growth.
Interesting.
Yes, same trick as before.
As before. So does this come from the point of contact or from the hilt?
So the example. Um, so what he was trying to do with it is essentially like you've got the tip of your blade, right? He's trying to put a little seed. Usually, like he's gonna try to do a bramble seed. He doesn't have one in this case. It's just vines. But like a little seed, like right in the tip, so that when it goes out, it's inside them. That was his goal with the plant growth idea. But
Ah, gotcha. Did we agree on mechanics of like how that impacts damage, or is it just going to be like entangle?
so I think we said starting it's just going to be an entangling thing.
Okay.
So for every foot of, or sorry, how does this work? They must spend 4 feet of movement for every 1 foot that it moves. Uh, so it is a big ball of vines right now. We
So
talked about
she's stuck in the weeds.
adding damage later, but
Cool. All right. So you have her entangled. So well
and
done.
then bonus action, we're going to. I think Teffin needs a bardic inspiration, so he'll also
I agree.
pluck a string or two. And
That's
Teffin, you have a
fair.
bardic inspiration,
What is that going to be?
a D8.
D8.
D8? Cool. Good deal.
And
Should
there's
have had a
still
D8.
and anything else for you?
Mhm.
Okay. Um, the one minion that's still in the room. Bet you forgot about him. Who's he gonna attack? Esteel seems like the most dangerous one. He's gonna go over and take a swing, and he rolled a freaking 1, so he just like takes a swing and ends up like taking his thorn arm thing into the ground. Uh, so he's apparently a little disoriented. He's not even actually all that crazy hurt, but he's struggling. He's having a rough go. And that brings us back to Paul. If Thea knows what
Jason just said he was going to hit her, so I guess we're going to take another swing with the Arboreum sword. He gets 2
he's
attacks, doesn't he?
Mhm.
at least.
Okay.
He might. I think he can use his bonus action to add a third, but I think that there's a penalty for doing it.
Well, let's just go with 2, and then we'll see what happens after that.
And I think he would probably also say Great Weapon Master and the other one,
Reckless.
Reckless Attack. Yeah,
And
He's
I don't
afraid.
remember what those mean, so you're gonna have to remind us.
Reckless Attack means that he gets advantage, but they have advantage on attacks against him. And Great Weapon Master, you -5 from your roll, and you add 10 damage if you hit.
Awesome.
Let's do the Great Weapon Master. So whatever I get, whatever I roll -5, right?
Right, but also with advantage.
Oh, but with advantage. Okay. So that's a natural 20.
Yeah,
That does sound like it was Paul.
it does.
Okay,
Paul's doing great today.
So it'll be
that
10 plus 2 plus whatever his max damage is, plus your roll.
that
Plus his strength.
4. So that's 10 plus his strength, which is 5, so 15. Plus 10, 25. Anything else?
Plus, I believe, 2 for his rage damage. And it's a +2 weapon, so also +2 from.
27, 29.
29?
I think that's right. Yeah.
And then, but then it's a crit. So do we double that, or
So you add the max of it. Is he rolling a D8?
oh, it's a D6. Oh, you do the max of the dice.
Yes.
Okay, so that would be 12 plus 10
Plus 22. Plus
3,
2 plus
4,
2
5,
plus
6,
5.
31.
What's the max of the dice? Because I already added the other part in.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
6.
It's well, it's 2d6, so 12 would be the max of.
Right. And then he has another attack,
Okay.
which is also at advantage, and you can decide before you roll you want a -5 for the.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it again. We'll do the plus or -5. And I don't think either of those are going to hit. I rolled a 6. It's plus 10, 16.
Nope.
Okay. Well, one of them worked.
Yeah,
She's looking
and it
pretty.
was a crit, so
Yeah. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, so that brings us back to Teffin.
All right. So there's gonna be a. Am I? Do I have like distance between me and the the big baddie?
A
a
little
little
bit,
bit.
yeah.
A little bit. Okay.
You're not in melee range ever.
That's fine. I'm gonna hold my ground. There's gonna be a click and a whine, and the gem in my chest plate is gonna start sparking, and I'm gonna shoot out a couple of lightning bolts. 21.
Will in fact hit.
Excellent. That'll do 10 points of lightning damage to her. Second shot. 13. Probably does not hit.
You do
Plus
have
a
bardic.
bardic inspiration.
Bardic. Oh, right. D8. 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 Let me add that real quick. So that'll actually wind up being a 17.
Not quite. So close.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, I've done my
I
due.
tried.
No, that's fine.
Kind of scared.
That's my due. That's all I have.
It's Thea. She's
Oh,
looking.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, I thought you were looking at spells and stuff.
Oh, I was, but I didn't realize that Pepin was done. Sorry. We just Eldridge Blast, tried and true. It works. Oh, maybe not this time though. That is one of them is a 17 and the other one is an 18.
18 gets it.
18 hits. Okay. So 11 points of damage.
She is looking quite rough. In such a way that she is really, really mad. And it's about to show in a really nasty way. She's only got one of these. You are all within range of this.
Might put Eden down.
It might. Everyone, I need you all to make Constitution saves.
Okay.
Come on, RNGesus.
That's a 9 for Paul, unless
Oof.
he gets any advantage on that.
It's a con save? I don't think so. He gets advantage on dex or strength, but
19.
Nope.
12
Looking
for
for
Thea.
20.
6.
This is gonna hurt everybody.
Ah.
Okay. Oh, and I need to make one for a steal. He'll be fine.
In the head.
'Cause this is a pass or fail thing. It is not a take half.
Save or suck.
What?
Oh, that's just an old phrase. They would say save or suck.
Thankfully, again, I think I rolled lower than average, so that's nice. 5, 6, 4, 10, 20.
Aiden's down.
Oof. See. I can't math anymore. Okay, so that's 25, 6, 27, 28, 32 points of damage. As she reaches her hands out, you can tell that she is angry, and she just like lets out this guttural and crushes her fingers, and as she does, you feel like gravity crushing you from the outside, like everything in the room kind of goes black for a second as you are crushed by this force. And Eden, it's longer than a second to go black. Let's see. Okay, so that is her one-time use bonus action. And then she's going to weave fate again. Everybody, roll me a dex save.
Again?
Yes. This is one of her I can do it every time actions.
15.
Okay.
12 for Paul. 4 for Thea.
He has advantage, but it's a dex save.
Oh, he does? Okay.
Yeah. Danger sense.
Even worse.
Oh dear.
Yeah, that's a 10 for.
So it sounds like he got all of you except, well, I mean, Eden's on the ground. But all of you except a steal. And she's gonna go ahead and do Sunbeam again. So make a con save again, I believe. Yeah.
23.
You make it just fine.
26 for Paul.
He makes it.
Non-natural 20 for Thea.
So you all make it. And I rolled a reasonably average amount here. So it's 24, so you guys will take 12.
Okay.
Oh, hold up. Is Dissonance Whisper still up? Okay. I forget what's concentration and what's not now.
No.
Okay. So that was a one and done sort of a thing. Okay. So,
So it's 12 points of damage.
Estelle runs to Eden's side first. Oh, he doesn't have to run to your side, actually. The apparition of a young woman who looks like she might be related to him appears over Eden. And Eden, you receive 4 points of healing. And there's a really pretty young Renethri ghost standing over you.
Morning.
What was that?
Good morning.
She just smiles at you. It's a very calming smile. And let's see. At that point, you guys are there again. He's got another dispel, so he's gonna go over. He's gonna grab the thing again and like whip at it, and you hear it break again and turn this time into flowers. The flower petals fall to the ground, and that eats, however, his that eats his action economy. Unless, let me make sure I did not forget something. Yeah, that's all he's got for right now. He has some cool reactions, but they are not useful right now. Okay, so that brings us to Eden.
How cognizant is Eden after just waking up and having someone standing over the top of him?
I mean, probably not very. Like, you're aware enough to take actions. They might not be smart actions, but you can take actions.
Oh. Um, I am Eden. It's a pleasure to meet you. What happened?
She she just points as she smiles over at the Fate Weaver.
Oh shit. Uh, where is she in relation to Eden?
The Fate Weaver?
No, the ghost, the apparition.
Like, kind of over him, but just to the side. So if he assumed she was a real person, she would not be impeding him sitting up. But she's like directly in his line of vision.
Okay. Um, so he'll say, "Excuse me," and he'll sort of like push himself up, and he's just gonna cast a spell because I don't think he can uh, get up and go over there right now. I'll hit the wrong button. Come back, spells. Right. So he's going to cast. Now this Fate Weaver, she's not wearing armor, right?
Correct.
Okay. Then we're going to cast Compulsion. So she will need to make a. Oh, just kidding. Out of spell slots for that. Uh, so you said bad action, right?
I mean, it doesn't have to be, but it can be.
Okay, we're gonna. that's gonna happen. We're gonna cast Hypnotic Pattern.
Huh.
Um, it is probably going to be so if everybody is looking at her, it probably won't affect the rest of the party, but it probably will affect her and Eden.
Friendly fire from yourself.
Yep.
Okay. So what's the save?
Uh, wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom.
She has disadvantage on those.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. She has a +6, but with disadvantage, it might not matter. Both of those are 4s. So she fails.
Okay, so she is incapacitated until she takes damage. Um, and she has a speed of 0. Uh, so the first attack against her will break it, but it should have an automatic crit because she is incapacitated as long as it is a melee attack. Eden also fails.
That one's concentration, right?
It is, yeah.
If you hypnotize yourself with your own pattern, can you concentrate well enough to continue the hypnotic pattern? I've never had to
So
answer this
it is a
question.
charm. I don't know if that matters because it is a charm.
Can you even affect yourself with it?
I mean, it says each creature in the area sees the pattern.
That's hilarious. So you have kind of temporarily locked yourself with with your own spell. I'm intrigued by that. That's cool.
So any damage or if a creature shakes them to pull them out of the stupor.
Okay. Interesting. Um all right. So that brings us back to this one poor minion who's just like worthless lately. Uh who is now like if this one ever actually hits, it's going to be good. So he's going to
He would have advantage if he tries to attack you. Actually, and then he would also crit because he's incapacitated.
he would, but he would not know that. I mean, he's he's not smart. He has a little wisdom, but he's not got great intelligence. Um so he is going to attack a steel. If the first one hits, he will get a second one. Oh, this one at least hits. Uh Let me check on the second one. The second one will not. Okay. So you see him attack with this willow branch, everybody except Eden, I guess. And it puts this big gash in Esteel's shoulder, but you also see that as Esteel is injured, he heals. So there's that. Okay. Second one did not hit. It's about the extent of what he can do. That brings us back to Paul.
All right. Well, we're gonna hit her again. And we'll do the +10 -5 one. So 13, 23 to hit. I gotta say advantage on that
That
one.
will hit.
Yeah, same thing.
Oh, the first one is a crit because
it's a-
she's incapacitated.
It's a crit.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Thank you, Stephen.
So that is 12. Plus 10 is 31. And then adds his strength.
Yes.
$36.
So
That's the max damage on the dice. Plus 9, plus 10, and then plus his strength is 5.
and I'm gonna have you re-roll that using her last reaction to do the time warp thing. So you're gonna roll to see if it hits again.
Okay, does he still get advantage on the?
We'll check.
After the first hit, she is no longer incapacitated. But if he did, whatever that is, reckless attack, then he would.
Yeah, if he's doing reckless, then he still does. If not, no.
Which one's or is that Great Weapon Master where you -5, but then you get to add 10 to the damage?
Reckless attack gives you advantage on the hit, but it also gives them advantage to hit you.
Correct.
Okay, so
you
I was
can
doing
do
Great
both.
Weapon.
I think you can do both, yeah.
Oh, you can do both? Okay.
Yeah.
So I am re-rolling this at advantage then. Or
Yeah, if you're
regular,
doing
just a
reckless.
straight roll. Okay. Sorry, I've never played a barbarian before, so.
Me neither. So like, I count on you guys to remember your stuff a whole lot because I don't know how some of this works.
So that's 18, but then I'm -5 from that, so 13.
Does not hit.
So
that
does he
means
still get a second attack? Or does that count
Yes.
as he does? Okay.
He does still
All
get
right,
a
so
second attack.
all the same stuff.
All the things.
18, but -5, so 13.
Wait, but if she rewound time to before his first hit, that was the crit, then she is still incapacitated.
Well, she broke the time loop, so I don't
Okay.
think so.
Yeah,
Just
you're
because
fine.
my own brain does not want to have to handle that paradox.
She reverts time to when she could not be awake.
Yes. What did you say that hit was? Sorry.
I think it was a 13. It doesn't hit.
Oh yeah,
It's
the
13
13
or
does not
14.
hit.
It doesn't hit.
Okay. So that's the end of Paul's turn. Teffin. Maybe.
Yeah, just a sec.
Teffin?
Yeah, I'm still here. Can you hear me?
I don't know why we can't
Very
hear you, but we
faintly.
can't hear you.
I can hear him very faintly. He asked
Yeah,
if he
it's
could hear
just enough to pick up, but all of a sudden, like, your camera dropped off and I can't really actually hear you.
Weird.
Well, I can hear you better now.
I almost wonder if it's using a different
Well,
audio source.
it might have been for a second, but you seem to be better now.
Okay, well, that's fine.
Keith is back, but are you guys seeing the rainbow effect over on Jason Reagan's?
No.
Oh. That's all you, bud.
Yep, that's all yours.
I'll
Which
screenshot it so I can show you.
Weird. Okay.
These rainbow songs stuck in my head.
Reading Rainbow.
I keep forgetting I have Flash of Genius. That's +4 to +4 to ability checks or saving throws. Dang it. I guess I'm just gonna go after her with the lightning launcher again.
You do.
26.
Does hit.
Uh-huh.
For 7 points of lightning damage. Second attack is going to be a 25
Does hit.
for another 9.
Math. She looks real rough now. Okay. Good job. Yeah, so that brings us back to Thea.
I guess we'll just Eldritch Blast again. If she's looking pretty rough.
She's looking pretty dang rough.
Yeah, okay. I don't want to waste a higher spell slot on that, so. Eldritch Blast. Ooh, one of those is a natural 20, and the other one is gonna be a 17.
I'm gonna save you the trouble. How do you want to do this?
I want to run in there and tell Jason I got to kill her.
Yeah.
I imagine it like hits her and kind of like electrocutes her, and like her hair goes like all crazy.
Burns away some of the vines that were sticking up.
Yeah, there we go. Oh, because yeah, she's all entrapped. Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. So yes, you see this, and the light in her eyes is extinguished, and there is something that leaves her, that exits her body and fizzles into nothing. It almost screams as it leaves. You gather that whatever was inside her has also perished at this point. Estelle will run over and grab her before she falls and lays her down. There is like a glimmer of recognition, like maybe not for who she is, but for what she's supposed to be. And gestures for the ghost figure to come over.
Wait, but
She'll run over and try to put a hand on the Fate Weaver to revive her, but it is unsuccessful. So the ghost returns back over to you, Stephen, and gives Eden another 5 points and extends a hand out.
cool. It does not revive him. But what's your name?
Estelle will turn to you. She'll look down at you and just keep smiling. And Estelle will turn to you. Elsaida is her name.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Can she not talk for herself?
Say that again, sorry.
Can she not talk for herself?
No, my friend.
Oh, well, it's a pleasure to meet you, and I hope that your day is really good. I think um, you look a lot like him, and he's great. So he's just so it says an incapacitated creature may speak but falteringly. So he's just like stream of consciousness, barely awake. And I think that you're really pretty. And I think that it's a great time to be here. And I think we have to go back through the door into the library.
Estelle comes over to you and just shakes you.
Okay, that was ill advised.
It was. In other circumstances, it would have been humorous. But I'm glad that you're well, She will stay with you. For a while, at least. But I should take the body here, so that it can be sent back where it belongs, to those that behind.
Where does it belong?
This is a celestial creature, woman. One specially educated. She is referred to as a fate weaver. It can manipulate the pattern. So, she was not operating under her own control. I suspect that whatever began that process took her over some time ago, as Elida was not able to revive her body. So we will return her body to her family. He'll walk over to the body and kind of...
I can cast Spare the Dying if you don't think it has been too long.
I'm guessing it has been too long, but you can attempt.
Okay.
Remind me, Spare the
her
Dying.
It just says touch
Stabilizes.
a creature with 0 hit points and it stabilizes it. It doesn't say anything about a time limit.
Huh.
So I think the idea there being at 0 hit points, you are not dead. You still can make saving throws, but Spare the Dying stops you from having to make saving throws.
Gotcha. Okay.
Soul is no longer in her body.
Soul has,
So,
yeah, Spare the Dying. A cantrip's probably not going to help with that.
yeah. And Elida will continue to, like, stay with you and give you an extra d6 of healing every 6 seconds for a bit. And everybody that gets within range of her will also benefit from that. So anyone within... within 5 feet of her will be able to heal.
So the next problem is how to get everyone back through the hole. I can probably lift the you see I can fly. I'm not sure if I will be able to get everyone else through. The problem is, so like to get my wingspan out, I don't think I can fit through at the same time as I'm carrying someone. So that could be problematic.
You're unfamiliar with rope.
I'm gonna go into my pack and pull out the rope, and then look up through the door. Are there any librarians like looking down?
You wouldn't know right this second until Eden. Well, actually, no. You would have dropped the
It's
illusion
dropped,
when
yeah.
you passed out.
Right,
So
it dropped
yes,
and Thea zapped me.
there are a bazillion little librarian guys all looking through,
So I'm
like,
gonna
wide-eyed.
I'm gonna toss one into the rope up.
And you see, like, all of them grab the other end, and they, like, start heave-hoing, like...
Up you go.
Well, I can get up. You should probably go up with Paul, though.
All right, come on, Paul.
Footballs, Paul. So yeah, you're able to climb up the rope without a problem.
And I can just fly up and grab the edge and pull myself over.
Esteel...
He can't, can he? Because his is mostly a gliding thing, isn't it?
He can get a little bit of elevation, so, like, this would not be a problem. He could not do, like, the long distances or things like that. It's much better for gliding if you're covering ground.
Oh, but he could basically just jump up to 10 feet up, right?
Yeah, like, he's tall, so, like, he's like 6'4". So yeah, but he is going to kind of arrange the rope in a way that it holds the Fate Weaver and kind of support her on the way up to get her in.
I'll pull her up once she's close enough.
And then he will like and he wears his wings outside of his robes now. So what looks like an effect of glossy fabric just kind of unfolds to like these really pretty dragonfly wings, and he just gives himself a little bit of an alley-oop. He doesn't really need a big one, but just a little flutter kick with a little leap there off of his cool little fawn feet. And grabs the edge and pulls himself through as well. Well, that was interesting. I dare say that we're not going to be alone for too terribly much longer if we do not get this out quickly. If they sent someone to try to access, then they will send someone else if it remains here.
So let's get walking. But do you think that the two that were fighting, one of them murdered the other one because Paul told him to kill him, and because of that, that happened here?
What?
The two librarians that were fighting, Paul was like, "Here, have some access."
Oh.
You think that that was the murder that opened this portal?
No. The murder that opened the portal was the fellow whose head she collapsed.
And
He was already dead. That was what finished opening the portal. That's a requirement for any passage to an external library. It has to be a very old space in an area that an entrance cannot be seen. And a person would have had to have died there. Usually those open by accident. But the library knows when someone is trying to access it from the outside, and it tries to defend itself. Unfortunately, that does mean that this entrance shall remain, because all of the criteria have been met and the portal has been opened now. But now that we know this,
do we know where the other side of this was?
not right now, no. Well, I mean, it is known, not by me,
Yeah.
but by the library, yes.
Okay.
The keepers will know.
Should we put the rug back over it? Or I guess it
Absolutely. All the locks, the rug, everything.
We need the door is broken though.
That is true, and also not our job. Like, he'll point over at one of the red librarians, and they like, and run over to get the door. You do see, like, the red librarians have mostly put together the shelves and whatnot that have been put into disarray because of the commotion. There are several yellow librarians having to go through and like piece books back together and mend them and all of this.
Is any of you Steve?
Eh.
Oh. Poor Steve. Okay. Well, if you guys want to lead the way, I'm going to read my book while we go, because I'm not sure I will be able to return the book in 5 days at once.
Oh no, it will be returned in 5 days.
But I won't be here in 5 days.
Correct. The library will take its claim
Oh, it
regardless.
just still poof.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
If you are unable to meet the end of your contract by showing back up, it will reclaim what is its own.
Is that okay? Will it be upset that I didn't return it and it had to do that? Because that would be unfair to them.
One of the book librarians comes over and like tugs on your arm and just
Yes.
like hugs your leg. And he'll pat you and be like,
Oh, well, thank you.
under different circumstances, it might feel differently about it, but I think it appreciates the protection.
Anything we can do. I suppose we should probably hurry, though.
Yes, you should. I was about to say that very thing. Let us. And he'll kind of hoist her back over his shoulder. Let us go and hope that the vaults are going to make themselves known. I feel like there's a fair possibility that is so. Like vaults, 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 vaults. Hurrying forward, you do, upon Estiel opening one of the other doors, there is a locked vault ahead that has a bell attached to it, and the librarians behind you seem content to be doing what they need to do to tidy up the place. He rings another one, and from like a deeper space within the vault, another red librarian comes out and kind of looks at all of you, seems to understand what's going on, and holds up a finger and runs back behind. Like it's kind of it looks almost more like a dungeon. There are different little alcovey areas behind this big grate, like a metal grate, and the whole place is very. It doesn't feel like that's the only safeguard, but one of the keepers, one of the big cloud giants, will come through and look at you curiously. Hello. You are here for the sword. I was aware that you would be visiting. And she steps over to the side and like lays a hand on a pad beside the gate and then puts a key in above. And the combination of the two things, along with a word that she says, you hear a deep in the wall, and then a as the gate opens and kind of slides back into the wall.
Eden's gonna look at Paul and be like, "Hey, Paul, I'm a little concerned that there might be more of those things that might chase us in here. Could you stand guard right here?"
Yeah, I got you, man. I can do that. Guard. He holds his sword at the ready, and
I'll put some. I'll use my last high level spell for the day to major illusion and give him like a miniature dragon that he can fight while we're busy.
wonderful. The keeper leads you past, like, there's so much stuff here, and a whole lot of it looks really dangerous. There's an entire wall, very long wall of weapons. There is a section of armor. There is a section of books. There are all of these, like, odd gems that look like they have things frozen inside of them. It is a treasure trove of deadly, deadly things, probably mostly cursed. The keeper will take the sword, wrap it in a blanket that looks like it has something woven into it that's like a much heavier fiber, and hand it very gently to you, whoever happens to be receiving. Estiel will
So who's carrying a body?
Yeah, I
Something.
was like, Estelle will kind of like, would someone else mind holding her?
I mean, I can, but also, who has the box that we need to put this in?
Question. Who had the box? I
It
forgot.
was not me,
Might have been Estelle.
because we had the wild one, the one that was like unpredictable and needed to hurry.
It might have been Estelle.
Oh, in that case, yeah, I'll take her.
Like, if none of you have it in your inventory somewhere, it was probably Estelle.
I didn't. I had notes about it, but not about who has it. I don't have it in my inventory, so
I do not remember that particular detail, so we'll just say it's Estelle. He would probably have a bag of holding with him anyway. It might not be like a full-size thing, but he would take the thing out, open it, and put the sword back in and tuck it away into the bag of holding. Thank you, my friend. There's this like moment where he departs from the keeper with a movement where they like touch foreheads, which is an awkward thing because the giant has to like stoop way low. But you gather that he is very familiar with a lot of these people in this space. Um, I hope to join you again soon, but for right now, if you'll allow us, um, we should go. I'm wondering if we also shouldn't use Melvin on the way out. I should be able to request being teleported back, perhaps outside of town, just in case something is following us.
That's
Very well. Uh, we will find our way out then. And once we are off the library grounds, um, I will request a teleportation.
the cloud
So
giant Eden will say, "Thank you so much. We appreciate your help. I
you are
hope that
welcome.
there's not too much trouble with the portal thing."
It will be resolved. We
I'm
thank you for what you have done.
sorry if we had any part in bringing that here.
It likely would have come at some point anyway. They don't know that you were the ones who let Cochet out, so you know.
It's just, you
I did not let
know,
Cochet out.
that's
I
true.
wasn't even in the palace when it happened.
I mean that is true, but you're with the people that did, so you know
guilty by
you've adopted
association.
them
Not by
now.
choice.
Who was it who
I
actually
was
gave
shanghaied
O'Shea
into
the
this
water?
thing.
Was it Paul or was it
It
Thea
was
who actually?
What?
Thea was technically the one who let him
it
out.
was technically yeah.
Ah. Well, you have your artifact now. The librarians seem to like one of the librarians kind of gets a feel for where things are and like and kind of ushers you to one of the doors that lets you out into one of the exterior courtyards. So this is still an area that's being tended by the keepers where you wouldn't be able to teleport, but it's not part of what changes all the time. So you can actually see your way to the exit from the library grounds.
I'm gonna go ahead and pop up Detect Magic as we're walking, and I want to keep an eye on our backside to see if anybody's following, perhaps hidden by magic or anything like that.
Good idea. As of right now, I mean, other than the gigantic glowing everything behind you, um, there is nothing that you would not expect.
I'll send Archimedes up just to scout from the
Very nice.
skies.
Very nice. As of right now, things look good. You guys are able to exit the library grounds, and Estiel will call in a message to home base, and you're not sure who it is doing the teleporting, but you do feel tugged through teleportation back to about like a quarter-day walk outside of the Palace of the Crystal Spades, so that you have ample time if somebody is following you to catch it. What was that?
I will keep detect magic up as we're going, watching behind us.
So far, so good. Whatever was in control of her seems to have died off in such a way that you have not been followed or found yet. So we shall see. So yes, you are able to make it back to the castle safely. And Estiel effectively immediately hands off the sword to Isanji for appropriate demolition.
Delayed though, right?
What was that?
Delayed though, right?
Oh yeah, it's a process. It's not going to be an immediate thing.
Because we were talking about trying to destroy them all at the same time, so that it wasn't like, oh hey, somebody just broke my thing right there.
He's going to be doing as much of a safe amount of study as he can, while also keeping it inside lead. He doesn't want it to be scryed on or anything like that either. So, yes, you are able to do that. Is there anything that you guys want to do or check on or anything to that effect? So you're reading.
I'll help Eden with the books.
Hitting the books.
Hitting the books.
Excellent.
I'm gonna
And
be
then
working.
I guess is there. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm just gonna be working on the finishing up the project for Paul.
On the belt.
Yeah, his belt.
Okay.
As we're sitting going through the books, I'm gonna make sure I have a spell slot for this. I do. I am gonna send a message to Scylla and check in on them. And see how they're doing, because yeah. Hey girl, it's Thea. Just wanted to check in. Got the sword back at castle. Where did they go? They went to the dragon's lair.
If she was with the thieves, then yes.
Did we decide? Okay.
I don't remember if she was with Claudius. If you're pretty sure that she was with Claudius, then she went someplace else.
I don't remember.
Where did you go?
This is your chance to decide.
Yeah.
We're just gonna say... Do I have it written in any of these?
Hope you're well. You can respond. Peace out.
I don't know where I wrote this down. Like, I had it written down, but now I don't remember where. That's not helpful. Because I need to remember where Claudius's team went if he didn't go with them.
I believe they were going to Baba Yaga's hut first.
Ah, yeah, that's right.
Is he with the old guard?
Mm-hmm.
Or
Yeah,
is he the old guard whose name I didn't know? So I just wrote old guard.
Yeah, the old guard would be the Claudius's crew.
Okay. They
Claudius,
went to Baba Yaga in the well.
so they've only been to Baba Yaga's so far.
Okay.
The well is going to cause them significantly more trouble. So you get back. Went well. Heard there were problems elsewhere. Are you okay? That was. Can meet for drinks and recap?
I will use my last spell slot. Oh, is she done? Sorry
Yes.
for that. Okay. We are good. I think I already told her we were back at the castle. Where are we at? And like, do we have like I guess like our little dorm area where we have been staying?
Probably, unless you set up somewhere else on purpose. Yeah, so
Just
you're
back in the rooms. Okay. Helping Eden with research. We'll fill you in. Meet you at what's one of the taverns and
I don't know where. So, like, there is one that's like attached almost in the hospitality area around the castle.
okay. Meet you at that place.
Yeah.
In 2 hours.
Perfect. So she will make plans to meet you there. Eliada would have stayed with you, Eden, and everybody that was damaged. She would have kind of fluttered between for a little while until Estiel couldn't keep her up anymore.
How long would that have been? Roughly?
That, I think, would have been... Oh, wait. So... He had 3 level 2 spells. No, he had 2 left. So it would have only been... I guess it would have only actually been a couple of minutes, so... but, yeah, she would have hung out with you guys for a little while and tried to get everybody healed up.
So like 20d6 worth of healing.
Yeah.
Ish.
You'd probably be feeling much better. Anybody who took damage, I think Eden was the one who soaked the brunt of it, Eden and Paul. And Eden didn't have as much to give. So player Steven would have seen this girl before. She was in the memory ring. Nobody's made that connection yet, but she was in the memory ring that got left with, yep, that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Now I feel bad because I don't remember his name. I see his face. Don't remember his name.
Is that something from our game? I don't remember memory ring.
No, that would be a Claudius game thing. So player Steven would know this person, but character Claudius wouldn't either. I'm not sure that was a connection that was ever made. So, let's see. Estiel does go about doing like a proper ceremony for the person that was killed.
Eden will be involved in that.
Okay, cool. Well, you will see that there is now like a braiding ceremony that happens, and this is part of their standard procedure for respect for the dead now, where they weave a braid down the person's chest, different colors symbolizing different things, and wishes for the next life. Weaving that into the braid as they go. So you would be exposed to that tradition that they have now adopted. Trying to think what else shenaniganery wise would get wrapped up there. At some point you see the kind of thieves guild group come in. They are rough. It almost certainly looks like Tix was brought back from death. And there is a lot of hushed whispering around them. Helen kind of going to them and trying to figure out like as much information as he could get to make sure they try and figure out why this went wrong, because 2 of you were compromised and they're not sure how yet. So they are ushered into a room to the side where there is healing available. And if there's anything that you want to do there, you can.
Once we have information from the books, we would share that with Tix, but I suspect she's busy, and if Eden is involved with the death ceremony, then he may not have had time to find that yet.
Okay. That works. Anything you guys, I can send you, like if you and Thea are kind of going through books, I can send you some of the things that you find later on. Is there anything else, any other bears that you're poking for the evening? I know it's like 12:30 Arkansas time, so it might be a good time to
I gotta go
wrap up.
check on Jason and Little Man. I was just trying to help Eden out with the books to find out what information, just to speed up because we only have 5 days. But I would want to try to find out like who was compromised and what exactly that means.
Gotcha.
Like, do we need to start interrogating everybody and make sure we don't have an imposter among us?
Gather from Callan that some of that is already happening. And you gather before you are sent out on your next mission that you guys too will end up being subjected to some zone of truthing effectively. To make sure that everything is as it is. When Callan is discussing this with you, you can tell that he is surveying you very closely to look for any signs of possession. So there is that. There is a certain amount of... There's a confusing distrust zone because all of these people are people who have deeply earned the trust of the crown and its closest companions. So the idea idea that information about what was going on could have gotten out, especially in the specifics that like two of you were hit. It's not like one item happened to have been tracked by two groups of people at the same time. Like that has them shaken. So they do not yet know what has happened. You gather that Callan has some theories that he is not making public yet.
Eden has a few too. And Eden would probably at least tell the party, like, it's not impossible that he's just scrying on a semi-regular basis because he's seen us. It's not like we are an unknown to Crochet. He knows that we were chasing him. He knows we tried to capture him. Some of us may have accidentally let him out in the first place. Like, we are not unknown quantities. And so
Uh-oh, you froze.
he's watching us on a regular basis. Yeah, he gets to see us in the bathroom. He sees us in the tub. He sees us when we turn into blobs in the tub. If he, I don't know what powers he has, but if he has the ability to scry,
Okay.
Would be a very likely thing, probably.
Well, I mean, he knows what we look like, so I guess it wouldn't be too difficult for him. So if there is some free time after Thea gets done helping Eden and catching up with Scylla and all that, I want to try to research if there's any like anti-scrying spells. Reagan doesn't know if that's like something that you can do in D&D. So if that's like a spell or a scroll we have to get or something, but
There are some protections that can be placed over things to prevent scrying.
easiest
So
one of those is probably non-detection, which is a spell.
there are different like amulets of non-detection. You gather that Ren wears one of these just as a habit, amongst many other things. There are also things that can make you aware. You're not sure, but you probably like as you learn, the glasses that Callan wears sit in a suspicious place on his nose, where if he's just casually looking at things, they would be useless. Like he's got him like he's doing the end of the nose old man thing, even though he seems quite like young and virile. Even though he's actually like in his 60s at this point, I think. No, 50s for him. But like there are things that you can enchant in different ways that will be effectively true sight. His glasses would show scrying orbs.
As with Claudius's, so there wasn't one.
Yeah. There at least wasn't one in the meeting. I don't know if you would have asked them about that to know for sure, but
Eden doesn't want to spread things since he doesn't know where the leak happened.
yeah. So that makes sense. So that's like there are things that will let you see when you are being scryed on that can become options, and there are things that can help you evade detection. Those are existent in this world. And you happen to have a magic item inventor guy there too. So that might be a resource you should like maybe talk to, perhaps. Either that or you should be terrified of him being the one that's, leaked information someplace if it got out a different way. Shall we leave it there for the night and let people pack it in?
Yeah, I think so.
Excellent. Did everybody have fun?
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of other cool stuff in the library, but you at least got to see a little bit of the fun stuff. You'd never met Steve. Maybe Steve was the cloud giant. I don't know.
We
I
forgot
was
to
going to
ask.
randomly assign to Steve, but I forgot.